All right, let's do it to it. Damian Pruitt.
Hey, what up, Damien?
We're back.
Yeah.
Damian Pruitt is a guy we knew.
Yes.
He is dead. Is he alive?
He's definitely alive, living in Los Angeles.
That's pretty much dead.
Yep, might as well be.
What's up, baby?
Hey.
My boy Ehsan is back by the grace of Allah.
By the grace of Allah, baby.
Says the shirt.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back on the beans, bro. Always good to have you back on the beans. You know, because we all hate you.
Huh.
So whenever we see your face, we can all get really excited about how much
Doesn't seem
we
right.
don't like you. Well,
Doesn't
you
seem
don't
right.
know what right is, buddy.
By the grace of Allah, I think I do. That's my new catchphrase.
Last movie we saw together, Bobby Doo, was Venom 2.
Yes, oh my God.
Trash.
What a bad movie.
Trash.
What a bad movie. I mean,
Trash.
not surprising. First one was pretty trash.
First one was trash. I will say this, though. Post-credit scene could have been the whole movie.
Yeah.
Those 2 minutes.
We could just walked in, been that, and we could have dipped.
And we'd have been, and all of us would have been like, "Woo, Venom
Yeah.
was awesome."
Well, you know what it is, though? I think it was just the fact that it was preceded by an incredibly shitty movie made it way better, too.
What do you mean, Venom 1?
No, I'm talking about the post-credit scene. The fact that it was followed by 90 minutes of the most, predictable garbage superhero stuff.
Also, he's not a superhero. He's a villain. Why do they keep trying to make him a hero?
Yeah, also
He is a villain.
Tom Hardy's not believable at all as Venom. He's not a loser.
No, Tom Hardy's Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's like the coolest guy.
Oh, you mean Bane?
Yeah. How are we gonna buy that he's a loser? He's Bane. He's that dude in The Revenant. He's been in 30 million things where he's super awesome.
Peaky Blinders and Legend.
Peaky Blinders
and
Bronson.
Yeah.
Dude,
the dude has range, but even in his wide range, there's
losers outside of it. He can't be a loser. And that's a very funny criticism.
Most
of Tom
losers,
Hardy.
and I will say this: most losers do not have six packs.
No, most losers are built.
Most. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying there aren't a couple out there.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying most, that is why, and a lot of people didn't like his Venom, but he's a better Venom than Tom Hardy. Topher Grace.
Yeah.
He is more believable. Eric Foreman I believe Eric Foreman can be a loser.
Yeah. Oh, I believe Eric Foreman can get jealous.
Yes. I believe it. I've seen it in that 70s show.
Yeah. Why would Tom Hardy be any sort of threatened by that weird doctor guy? It doesn't make any sense. He's completely inept. In terms of what he in a physical situation. Also,
I don't like that Eddie Brock can beat the shit out of Peter Parker. Peter Parker, the nerdiest, the nerd. I'm talking about take the powers out of Peter Parker.
Right.
If Peter Parker and Eddie Brock got in a fight, Peter Parker should be able to win.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eddie Brock should be jealous on all accounts of this man.
Right.
That's what makes the Venom suit and Eddie Brock go together.
Yeah, why is Venom? His name is Venom. Why is he a good guy? It's Venom. Antidote's the good guy.
Vaccine.
Yeah, vaccine.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
Fauci.
But why is he trying to save the day?
I don't know.
In San Francisco. What's going on? Why is he in San Francisco? Why is Venom in San Francisco too?
What is happening? He should be in New York.
He should be in New York.
But we know. First off, if you haven't seen Venom at this point, I don't care that I'm ruining it for you.
No.
Now, we know Spider-Man's in the universe. We know Venom's in the Marvel universe now.
Right.
So there is hope.
Right.
That's the only thing that now that we know he's in the Marvel universe.
Right.
And we know he is. They showed it.
Right.
They are clearly combining the universes.
Right.
That's okay. Well. Yeah. Maybe Venom can be saved. Because there were two bad Thors. And I'll say that there were two bad Thors before they did Thor right.
Do you think the X-Men end up in the Marvel Universe sometime soon?
Absolutely. They already set it up in
oh, really?
WandaVision.
Which part?
Fucking the black girl who's the superhero at the end.
Oh, yeah.
She's X-Men.
She's X-Men. Oh, okay.
Monica Rambeau or whatever the fuck.
Oh, I forgot her name already.
Yeah, but she, that's clearly setting up all that.
Okay.
And she's cool with Reed Richards, and so Fantastic Four is the last movie of this phase that we're in.
Right.
Fantastic Four is the last movie of this phase.
Okay, Jesus.
So there's no Avengers movies in this phase.
Well, this makes sense. The Avengers have to be separate for a little bit now.
Oh, but bro, you know what that means? And this is me and Tommy had a conversation about this. Right. This is my theory. This is my theory on this. I haven't said this out loud actually.
Right.
Other than him, I think because there's no Avengers in this phase, and they need to do something big to get past this Tony Stark, Captain America. Like, you got to get past these two characters that were just larger than life.
Right.
And Black Panther died on you, so you also have to get past that.
Right.
They had to rewrite. They had to go back into the rewrite. They had to rework everything.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they do with that.
Because, I mean, you got to remember, this was a guy who was supposed to be leading your way for when Iron Man and Cap die, and now he actually died in real life. So you're like, okay, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's pretty wild. That's something they had to figure out.
Right.
But this is what I think they're going to do. This is why there's no Avengers movie in this one. I think instead of having one big Avengers movie or two big Avengers movies like they've done usually, but one usually, right? Instead, this phase, you're going to see 3 Civil War level movies. Spider-Man No Way Home is going to have, it's going to be like that, where you're going to be like, oh my God, this feels like an Avengers movie.
Right.
And then we're going to get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Same thing. We'll be like, oh my God, it wasn't an Avengers movie, but damn, everybody was in it.
Right.
Then you're going to get Thor Love and Thunder. And we already know the Guardians are in that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be definitely more of that. It's just going to be...
You're going to get Civil War level...
Well,
we're crossovers.
We really saw, Civil War level crossover, and then we just saw it with Thor when it was just sort of Thor and Hulk in their own sort of...
In their own little
it's
kind
gonna be
of
a lot
buddy
of that.
cop thing?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot like that, where it's just going to be these cool team-ups of random heroes that somehow ended together, and then they're going to cross over in some set. Like, it's going to be
with
a lot.
Another thing. Yeah. And you won't get the whole movie like Avengers, where it was the whole movie. You'll get like Civil War. You'll get the airplane scene.
Right.
Where it's like, yo, that was 15 minutes of everybody.
Right.
Literally everyone is in that scene.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think we'll get that, but instead of getting it one big movie, we'll get it spread across 3 movies.
Right.
We'll get it 3 times.
Okay.
That's what because of course the other ones you're still setting up. Like, you had to set up Shang-Chi. The Eternals is all set up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not mad at that. But because you have to do all the setup for the new phase. I get that. But at some point you gotta like fucking let's do it. We need a crazy scene. And I think Spider-Man No Way Home, you're gonna be like, fuck it, let's go. Venom's here. This person's here. This person's here. This person's here. And it's like, I mean, we already know in the trailer, Doc Ock. We already know from the trailer, Green Goblin, Venom. We know you know what I mean? So Doctor Strange. So just from that, we know 4 major characters are in Spider-Man No Way Home. Just from that. That's why I'm like, oh, you don't think we might get a surprise from Star-Lord? Or maybe not even Star, but like Drax or something, where you're like, what the fuck?
Right. What is he doing here? Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And then Captain Marvel will just be there and then like disappear when it's time for important stuff to happen.
Yep, and everybody will just be like, man, I don't like Brie Larson. That's what we say every time. Every time she shows up, everyone's like, I just don't see it. Well, it's like Venom. It's just like, yo, this is out of your range. And yo, I think Brie Larson is incredible.
Yeah.
This is out of her range, I think.
Yeah, I think Brie Larson's range might be down to earth.
You got to be on Earth.
Yeah, in a very real sense. Short-term 12, The Room.
Yeah, those are actually on Earth.
Those are very down to earth movies, and in a very real way. And she kills those.
That's why it's like, no, it ain't like also. It's just like Tom Hardy. It's like you watch Venom and you're like, I know you can act. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, Brie Larson's range is on Earth.
On Earth. That's why it's like, you know, every once in a while they usually Marvel doesn't miss. I mean, because Tom Holland is Spider-Man,
right?
And then don't get me started on how much motherfucking Chris Hemsworth is Thor, and like these are perfect casting. I mean, we're talking, Steve Evans. Steve is Cap.
Yeah.
Black Panther is Chadwick. I mean, these are like, damn, that was
RDJ.
RDJ is the pinnacle. Bruce Banner, even. You know what I mean?
I think after 2 wrong ones.
Yep, after 2 wrong ones. Scarlett Jo is Black Widow. Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. I mean, these are like identical to the comic books level. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. Ant-Man is Paul Rudd, even.
Yeah.
You know, but they missed with her, I think.
I think so too.
I think they missed with her.
I think so too.
They could have got a better actress.
Yeah, I think
for that role.
Yeah, I can't think of one that pops in the top of my head for that.
Anyone else?
Yeah, they could have, because she's supposed to be like this. They could, you know what it is? They should have gone a little older, like a Julia Roberts.
Yep.
Or something. Maybe not that. But
also, you know what? You know
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
You know who I think would be perfect, but she's already in a role in Marvel. Black Panther's number 2, the black woman.
Oh, yeah.
She would be a great Captain Marvel because she's a little bit older.
Yeah.
I believe she's a badass.
Yeah.
I don't nothing against you, Brie Larson. I don't believe it.
You're a badass, yeah.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I believe, it's like you said earlier, I gotta believe you're a badass.
Yeah, yeah.
Emily Blunt, I've seen this bitch be a pregnant woman and kill aliens.
Kill aliens, yeah.
Like,
kill also the scariest, one of the, I mean, if we were to rank aliens, that has to be
aliens off sound?
Alien. Yeah.
Sound aliens?
Yeah, and then the actual what they were scary as shit.
Yeah, nigga. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, bro, I just don't see it as her. But, you know, hopefully the movies around her. I mean, maybe they fix it. Maybe the next Captain Marvel movie is so good that they can fix it. I doubt it.
Right.
But we'll see. They fixed Suicide Squad. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, they got the Marvel guys to do it. And who's to say they can capital now make something good out of it?
Yeah. You know?
They're still now DC's finally made a good one.
Hey, Ehsan, how much is Marvel movies? That's the only good Hollywood now.
I would say so. I was thinking about last year's Academy Awards. Nomadland? Nomadland was trash.
A whole movie about taking a shit? We talked about that?
Yeah, Nomadland was trash.
What have I sent you the last 3 days in a row?
Dude,
3 mornings in a row. What have I sent you?
Dude, I've seen the same trailer over and over and over again. So we saw the Halloween trailer.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. Jesus. Oh, wow. You got Jamie Lee Curtis again. Good for you.
She's 90, dog.
Yeah, let her be. Let her be.
Let her die.
Not even let her die. Let her win over Michael.
Yo, this nigga keeps coming back.
Yeah, for no reason. She beat him. She won. Let her win.
I'm talking about she won after the first one.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
She won.
Let her win. Jesus, this poor woman.
From 1970.
This poor woman can't catch a break. When she's not running from Michael, she's fucking switching bodies with her daughter. It's like a lot. Let her rest. Let her rest, bro.
50 years of this nigga coming back. Yeah. I'm talking about literally 50.
Yeah. Let her rest, dude. And this is my movement. Let Jamie rest.
She deserves it.
She earned it. God. And then
I sent you what?
Fuck, you sent me one. I'm gonna
Scream.
Scream. Oh my God. But that was like literally the exact same.
But I could tell. I was like, I'm gonna send him. This is gonna fuck him up because you're gonna be like, wait a minute. This isn't Halloween.
Yeah.
Yo, the trailer is exactly the beginning as the old movie. You know, where the phone call and it's like, wait a minute. Then what was the point of making it?
What the fuck?
And what I sent you today?
Oh, Home Alone. Oh my God, Home Alone.
I sent him Home Alone.
Oh.
There's a new Home. Also, to the people out there listening, I hope there's somebody listening who's like, they're making what?
Yeah, the new Home Alone is gonna catch people off guard a little. That's like, what? Why? There's no reason, bro. There's no reason. Hey, if I want to watch Home Alone, I'll just watch Home Alone.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a great, like just fun movie to put on. I'm not gonna put a worse version with people I've performed shows on with. That's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening at all, dude. At all, that's not happening.
Yeah,
no
I have.
way.
I've been on too many shows with Pete. I've hung out with Pete Holmes in the green room enough.
I've been on a show with Pete Holmes.
That I can't fool.
Yeah. Hey, Pete.
Shout out to you. Get that bag.
Yeah. Get that bag, Pete. I love that. That was my favorite part. Other than that, dude, that movie looked so. The mom is Irish. Pete Holmes is a goofy American man. The kid is British. And I can't get past that.
And yo, and fucking Joe Pesci is the unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Why? I genuinely really like Ellie Kemper.
No, I love her.
There is in no situation do I view her as intimidating.
No, it needs to be, you know who it needs to be? Like Dave Bautista. It needs to be a big, actual menacing presence.
Yes.
Like somebody that you're like, this kid has no chance.
Yes.
And then when the kid is winning, it's like, wow.
Yeah. That was going to be 90 minutes of this kid beating the shit out of this quirky girl.
Just so women can be equal.
Yeah, dude. Imagine this. You know what that's like? Imagine if there was an episode of the Magic School Bus where they just beat the shit out of the teacher, and that's what this feels like. That's the same level that she's at in terms of scariness to me. She and the Magic School Bus teacher are the same.
If they ever made a movie about the Magic School Bus and she wasn't cast as a teacher, they missed a big opportunity.
They missed a big opportunity.
because she's
That's
funny,
actually, yeah.
she's quirky.
I believe her. Like, she can teach me stuff.
And she's cute. She's not
Yeah.
like, you don't want somebody too sexy. You don't need
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. It's too
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's
Also,
attractive.
I believe her in she could talk to children on their level. Just
and
like,
I believe she's
that
a teacher.
100%. Yeah.
It's not out of her range that woman is a teacher.
Yeah.
Now, you know what she's not?
Joe Pesci.
A bank robber.
Yeah, she's not
Or
Joe
a robber.
Pesci.
I mean, she's not a fucking
Dude, imagine
home invader.
Imagine Godfather, Goodfellas, shot for shot remake. But I mean, you could go back in time, but you just put Ellie Kemper in Joe Pesci's roles. That's it. Everything is the same, but it's Ellie Kemper.
Am I a clown to you?
Yeah.
She's got a cute little smile.
Yeah, she wears like a just outfit with like 9 different colors on it. Like,
Am I a clown?
Yeah.
To you? Yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That was horrible casting. I get it though. You want to show that women can do it all, man. And yo, this is what's crazy. We talked about it too. If you're gonna get a woman for that role, you know who it's got to be? It's got to be Charlize Theron. It's
Viola Davis.
It's got to be Viola Davis. It's got to be a woman that is Tiffany Haddish. It's got to be a woman.
Yeah.
That is
Tiffany
scary.
Haddish. Yeah.
And not scary. Like, not that Tiffany Haddish is scary, but like,
No, she's scary because she's black. That's what Deric is saying.
No.
Deric is saying. Derek is 100% saying this. Clip it, put it on Twitter. It's time. Let's do it.
Hold on.
We got him, boys. We got him.
Wait a minute. Let's not come back. You leave. No. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe she can be scary. She can be a hood bitch. She could go off on this little kid. With the kid fucking her up. How funny is that?
Yeah, and she could be genuinely really funny.
It's Tiffany Haddish. She's
Tiffany
definitely
Haddish.
going to react funny about getting hit in the face with a cue ball or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be just some quirky white girl, like you said, getting her ass beat for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But how great. Dave Bautista, Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah. Oh.
I believe that these are scary home invaders.
Right.
I believe they're like a little gang, and we both know what about these two actors? Hilarious.
They're both really funny.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And now we see that trailer assigned. We see they're the villains. I'm at least like, ooh,
Yeah.
that was it. That was well casted.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do a remake, if you're gonna do a remake,
Yeah. Just watching that one, the mom act her ass off in the trailer.
Jesus
Try to act so serious, and it's like
you're in Home Alone remake.
You're in Home
No,
Alone
not two.
remake. Yeah,
Not they
I did
already
two.
did a Home Alone 2.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Aside, they already did a Home Alone 2, and then you know what they did after that?
They did 3. There's 5, I think.
And then
Scarlett Johansson in 3.
I know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But that's a young ScarJo.
Still.
That's the acting, baby. That's the grind.
Yeah. That's what makes so. But they've had 2 really great movies and a 3rd movie with a young Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
It's already a very iconic franchise.
So you know what you do with that? You make another. Oh my God, bro! And then of course, Ghostbusters remake is coming out. They won't stop.
Ironically, Ghostbusters will not die. Ironically, it just
and shall I say something? And it's a hot take, I'm sure to some of you, but to me, it's not even a hot take. Ghostbusters is trash. The originals. Absolute garbage movies. Not funny, not clever, not creative. That's what I think of those.
Yeah,
and then to remake that.
Yeah, I don't have a strong feeling about Ghostbusters.
Because have you seen them?
I've seen the first one.
And that's why you don't have a strong feeling.
And then I was like, I don't need to watch the second one. It's okay.
Hey, did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, I'm sorry that we come. Hey, we're from the era where the Dark Knight happened. I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more, Baba, than the Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
There's also just funnier PG movies.
We're from a different era, though.
Yeah.
We're from a different. We grew up like I get to y'all that was cool, but y'all had never seen a
ghost like
an animated green ghost.
Yeah.
Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Big fucking deal. Oh, they had a song. All right, dude. Who cares? You're old. You're fucking old. That's why you're mad. It is a good movie. You're old. You're an old person for fact. No young person is like, bro, I love Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no one ever brings it up.
Because you either haven't seen it, because who gives a shit, or you did see it like us, and you were
you're like, well, if I'm ranking kids movies, it's not even close to Finding Nemo.
Nigga, they're not even in the same universe. How dare you say
what I mean?
in the same sentence those two movies?
It's like, so,
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? So
absolutely, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like you're not gonna. There's that and that. You know what I mean? And that that's like the baseline of a great movie. So there's no way. There's just zero way we'd be like, oh, Ghostbusters is up there with
Dude,
the Incredibles.
We're from the Home Alone era.
Yeah, Home Alone. Yeah, that's another one.
We're from the Home Alone era.
Yeah.
I don't care about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
and then they remake it, and you think it's okay because you put Paul Rudd in it. Hey, Paul, we love you, but
oh, are they all dudes again?
Yeah, they're all dudes again.
Okay, so
the OG cast is back. Bill Murray and all them.
Oh, this is you know what this is? This isn't even a remake of Ghostbusters. This is the male remake of the female remake of Ghostbusters. That's what this is. That's what this is.
This has nothing to do with the original anymore.
No. This is fuck this. Fuck, no one gives a shit. And they're gonna be like, why is this failing, dude? Hollywood is in trouble. In trouble, bro. This is how in trouble Hollywood is, right? I was thinking about this the other day. This is a while ago. I was thinking about this a while ago. Maybe 2 years ago. It's like, what does America really make? What does America really do? Right?
Sports.
We used to make everything. We used to make everything.
Yeah.
Right? Now the only thing we make and export really is basketball.
Reality television.
I mean, we don't even export reality TV around the world. Around the world has their own reality TV. They don't need us. We export basketball. We export movies and shit. Movies, TV.
Yeah.
Right?
TV, yeah.
That's what we do. Around the world, that's what we do. Bro, the number one movie most talked about on social media, talked about more Google searches than Stranger Things, is Squid Games. That's Korean.
Oh, yeah.
Last Oscar winner, or 2 Oscar winners ago.
Parasite.
Huh?
Parasite.
Amazing movie.
Fire.
Yeah, you know what was great about it? We had never seen that before. And you know what? I can trust Korean cinema to not be like, well, now we did an all-black remake of Parasite. I trust them not to do that. I really do.
Little Parasite.
Yeah, Little Parasite. Tyler Perry's presents Little Parasite.
Yo, first off, don't act like you wouldn't go see it. You know we're going opening day. Yeah. You know we're going, and we're wearing our Little Parasite shirts. Soundtrack by Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
And Lil Baby.
Yeah. Number like K-pop is so popular now that BTS had a McDonald's line of toys, and 2 of the most popular songs on TikTok right now are K-pop singers singing in English.
Yeah, that's
that Money song.
Yeah,
drops. That's a K-pop singer.
I believe it.
Yeah. We're in trouble, dude. And now on top of that, 60,000 people in production are going to go on strike because these studios are so greedy. I talked to our boy Gordon Hale about it, who's in the union. They want to take away their overtime pay. They want to take away their health care. And they want to take away extra days. So really just fucking them all over completely.
Just so everybody can keep their bottom line.
Yes.
Because of COVID fucked everybody, but nobody wants to lose any money.
Yes.
But everyone knows COVID fucked everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yes. So, I mean, this is just going to create a lane, dude, of just like, if I'm in the Korean entertainment industry and I'm looking at what's happening, I'll be like, oh, we're going to take this Hollywood strike and we're going to fucking dominate.
Yo, it's bigger than that. Because, imagine not only just if you're in Korea, imagine you're in fucking wherever other country.
Right.
And you're like you just said, oh, there's a lane.
Right.
There is a lane for original entertainment in
lane.
America
right.
that they ain't getting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? This opened a door that I think is even bigger than, because of course Koreans are opening it, but I think other countries are going to be like, oh shit, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think there's some director in fucking one of these weird little countries in Africa that has a great idea?
Yeah.
That has a real original idea.
Yeah. And
he does.
They're looking at America and there's no original content. There's no original content. None. Outside of like YouTubers doing their own thing on the big screen. It just doesn't exist.
And it's been proven that Americans, you don't have to be white or black for us to watch it. You can be all Korean, you can be all African, you can be all whatever the fuck. If it's good, all Russian. If it's good, we will watch it.
Hollywood has been so garbage for so long recently that people are like, I'll read subtitles. And then they're like, oh shit, it's actually not hard to read subtitles.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what they did? The smart people, just Squid Games. Hey man, I get that some of these dumb Americans don't want to read subtitles. Bro, give them the dub.
Give them the dub.
Give them the dub. They're still gonna love it.
Give them the dub.
Because I know people who walked up and be like, I like the dub better than the subtitles, and it's like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You like the show.
They won. They won.
Yeah, I think in a couple years, most of the big things in America will be from other countries.
I think we're gonna be importing art. and we're done.
Good. It makes art better. It makes
art better.
It's gonna make comedians of the future better. It's gonna make
Yeah.
artists of the movie actors. It does make art better.
It does make art better.
I think that's good.
Yeah, this is Hollywood. Oh my God,
Hollywood's dead.
Hollywood
but-
is. It's not dead. It's crumbling though.
Crumbling.
And they need something to fix. They need something to turn it
True.
around.
But Ehsan, think about this: how big that? Because now, fuck Hollywood. I can be worldwide.
Right.
Like as a comedian, I'm talking about me and
Right,
you.
right.
It's like, I don't have to go through Hollywood.
Fuck Hollywood.
Which is huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
I don't have to go through Hollywood.
That's
I can make
huge.
my own thing and it's cool. And B, my thing can hit in the Philippines.
Right.
What?
Right.
I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's what makes art cool now. I think is that everyone has this bigger avenue to hit. You have a bigger your chance of catching, like your chance of throwing a dart and hitting the board is now way bigger.
Right.
Still, you can miss.
Right.
But nigga, it's like, whoa, that just made it huge.
Right.
Jesus. And that's cool. It is, like you said, it's going to murder Hollywood. Hollywood's bleeding out the neck. But for the actual, what art is and what art's about, it's going to make the next kid so much a better artist. The next kid's going to be a better comedian.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have all these other different things to pull from, Ehsan.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, there's the next great American director is watching Parasite like, oh shit.
Watching Squid Games. And Ehsan, he's 5 years old. He's 7 years old.
Yeah.
And he's like, you see what I'm saying?
Taking
And then
it
he
all
gets
in.
to watch that, Ehsan. And then right on Netflix, he gets to go over and watch the Last Dance documentary.
Right.
And then he gets to watch Tiger King.
Right.
And then he gets to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Right, you're right. You're right.
And then he gets to watch another another dope ass Korean movie.
We do documentaries super well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we kill that.
Yeah.
But
we
you
do
see my
documentaries
point of
super well.
like you said, this kid, and not only, and this is some kid in Japan
Right.
who's 5 years old, and he's like, what the fuck? Like his art that are, I just can't. That's really cool.
Yeah,
and it's
you're
gonna create, like, when we're older, dude. When we're in our 60s, we're gonna be like, there's gonna be some shit coming out that we're like, whoa,
What the fuck is happening?
this is cool.
Yeah.
So that is good. But by then, Hollywood will be dead and good. Hollywood needed to die. Fuck them.
Yeah.
They didn't pick us anyway.
Yeah. That's
They
right.
literally didn't pick us.
Yeah, they
so
didn't pick us. What?
I'm mixed. You're brown. All kinds of shit going on.
Yeah. We're I don't know. I feel like we know how to talk. We know how to get people from everywhere to listen. This is like
Make women laugh.
Yeah, we can do, we're good on the coast. We're good in the middle of the country. What else do you need? You need someone to say the right things.
I can go international.
You need
I bet
someone-
you we're funny international.
Yeah, but you need someone to say the right things. We don't say the right things.
Never gonna say the right things.
No.
Nigger faggot.
Well, welcome to the demonetization of this episode. It just officially happened. You saw it. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Speaking of demonetization of this episode,
Yeah.
we'll be right back after this break. Hey. This is an ad. That's what this break in the movie is for, because it's an ad. Hi, guys. My name's Deric Poston.
And I'm Sam Lopez.
And do you like t-shirts?
I hope you do, because
Because we got on the best t-shirts you'll ever find. Hidden Village Customs. I'll do the Sam, why don't you go show them and I'll do the ad.
Okay, you do that.
Hidden Village Customs, guys. The best shirts since shirts were made. Our boy Gabe makes these amazing shirts. They're literally awesome. He crosses anime with real life, and it's fucking amazing. Like, this shirt is Hey Arnold mixed with me and Sam doing the podcast literally on this couch while also wearing shirts of Hidden Village Customs. That's
Yeah.
how meta this fucking shirt
and also in the shirt that I'm wearing on mine, the shirt we're wearing in that is also another Hidden Village Custom shirt. See how, like,
I know.
I'm wearing a shirt, and then inside that's another. It's gonna be.
I want it to keep going. So we want at some point it to just keep, like, they just keep going and going and going and going, and it's just a million pictures inside a million pictures.
So buy their shirts, because then they'll keep sending us shirts.
Yep, buy their shirts, guys. Hidden Village Customs, www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. They make amazing shit. I seriously, the Sam already washed them. They don't shrink. The print doesn't fade. That's my favorite part of it.
They're very
of any
soft.
shirt. Extremely soft, great quality. Sam was wearing her Tom Brady one yesterday anyway for a show.
Yeah, I was wearing it around the house
Around the
without
house,
a
that's
bra.
right.
That's the other
Without
great
a bra.
thing. These the square icon, like, if you're like, I don't want people to see my nipples,
Yeah.
it prevents that.
Yep. So you can walk around without a bra, ladies.
Ladies.
That's another plus. Hidden Village Customs, guys. They're from the Bay Area. So if you're a Bay Area beaner, if you're in the Bay Area Bean Mafia crew, go show our boys some love, especially. Hidden Village Customs on all social media platforms. The best shirts in the business. The best graphic design in the business. Go hit them up. Get your shirts now. from Gabe at Hidden Village Customs. Not a pedophile, just a good man selling shirts. Now he tells me to say that, which makes me wonder things. But again, he probably just wants everybody to know that he's not. But, who knows? Gabe, Hidden Village Customs. Go show him some love. Sam.
Yes.
I was smoking some weed earlier.
Yeah, you were.
And I only smoke one weed.
It's the best weed.
And that's Happy Canary.
Happy Canary.
Happy Canary, guys. Best weed since weed.
Since weed.
Guys, they're a wholesale company run by our boy Gabe. Now, you can't buy from them. That's not their thing. What they do is they sell to other dispensaries. So I'm just really just supporting them. So
follow them on
Instagram, though. Happy Canary. HappyCanary. CANARY, and you tell them the Bean sent you. Happy Canary on Instagram, guys. Happy Canary. Go show them some love. It's the best weed. That's why I smoke it. It's the only weed I smoke. Shout out to my boy Hayden. Shout out to Maine. Shout out to all the Maine Bean Mafia. Shout out to everybody in Maine who fucks with us. Shout out to her Uncle Leo who let us stay at his cabin. Maine is awesome. Weed is awesome. Happy Canary, guys. Sam? Football is upon us.
Yo, it's football season. It's about to happen.
It's about to happen.
Is it preseason yet?
Almost. There's no preseason this year, I don't think.
Oh, really? I've started seeing the football players for the college around town.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it gets
bro.
me excited.
Seeing the Longhorns, seeing some Texas Longhorn college players. We're going to a lot of games this year, so we're really pumped. But I love football because of one man who is a war eagle.
War Eagle!
War Eagle! And that's Darren Bates. Guys, Darren Bates, he's black. He's a father. He plays in the NFL.
What more could you ask for?
What more can you ask for out of a person? And all he wants from you, he doesn't want you to buy anything. He doesn't want your money. He doesn't want your soul. All he wants is you to go to his Instagram, Darren Bates, DarenBates, at Westlandson_56. Beautiful picture of his mother. That's his profile. Blue check mark. That's him. Darren Bates. And all he wants you to do is hit the follow button.
Send him a message. Say, hey, the Bean sent me.
Simple. All right? Ask for us pictures of Ehsan's feet.
He's got those.
Make sure you ask for him. Guys, Darren Bates, go show him some love. Follow him, and you say the Bean sent you there. And you let me know you did it. You make sure you do it. That's your one job. If you haven't done it yet, you better fucking do it.
Listen to his podcast.
Listen to his podcast, The Raw Room, guys. Available on all platforms. However you're listening to this podcast, you go listen to The Raw Room. He's had unbelievable guests. He's had Malcolm Butler on. He's had Jason Weaver, the guy who did all the original songs in The Lion King. You know what I mean? He just had Will Compton on. He just did Bussin' with the Boys. You know what I mean? Guys.
It's a cool dude.
Biggest podcast on Barstool. And my boy Darren Bates just did it. He's in the NFL. He's the fucking man. I'm so proud of him. His second career is going even better for him. The podcast is growing. He's getting better with it. The clips are coming out. Go follow The Raw Room. Go follow Darren Bates. Go show our boy some love. Back to the movie. And we're back.
Hey.
You like those ads?
Good ads.
We've been talking for 30 minutes, and just like every time you're on, I forget that is not what this podcast is about.
No.
Not even close. If you're a new listener, which I'm sure hey,
welcome.
Thanks for still listening.
Yeah.
This is a movie podcast, but not some movie review. Fuck that. Oh, you know what's funny? A lot of people always think, Baba, when I bring it up.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out a way to connect this
to
the masses when this podcast is big.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's a movie review.
Right.
Until they listen to it.
Right.
But like, even when I tell people it's not a movie review, and I say no, I tell people no, it's like the whole movie, yada yada. In their head, they still go, well, it's a movie review.
Right.
Until they listen to an episode and they're like, because they always, bro, you told the whole movie.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah. You know what? You gotta give him a straight up weird answer. You gotta be like, you know what I mean? Like, is it a movie? But no, it's like, no, it's not a movie. What is it then? It's just
porn.
Man, I'm just like a dumb fucking black guy. Like, if you listen to the episode, you're like, wow, he's just some dumb fucking black guy. And they'll be like, wait, what? And then they'll listen to the episode because they're like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? And then they listen, they're like, yo, this dumb
fucking black guy just did the whole
literally
movie.
just told me all of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you got to tell him.
And he told it really good.
Yeah. Next time, just give it a shot. See what happens. What do you got to lose?
That's true.
Yeah, they already don't get it when you tell them the truth.
They only get it when they listen.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? I need to, next time you're with Gareth with the dollop, I need you to ask him that question. How do you, because like, that's the kind of podcast too. It's like, how do I explain to you what it is?
No, but it's a different thing because he's doing history.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We can get in our head, like history. Oh, he's just telling us history and he's reacting. There's no, like, he's not like, oh, they're reviewing history.
Yeah, nobody reviews history.
No one reviews history.
Everyone reviews movies. There's so many movie review podcasts. That's not a new. So it's like, it's just another movie review podcast. It's like, no one else is doing this podcast. No one else is doing this movie.
Bro, I'll tell you next time, bro. It's just.
Should I put that on the bio? Just a dumb fucking black guy?
I'm just a dumb fucking black guy. I think you should actually.
No, you're so racist. All our black listeners right now are like, yo, what is wrong? How can you let him talk to him like this? It's because I say things about him that you couldn't even imagine.
No, but I mean, just because everyone will be like, what the fuck? Like, you got to say something out of left field, I think. Like, if you want to drum up like excitement in person.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. I just want to. I don't know a way to get people to just understand naturally, and other than it's like maybe I don't know. Other than maybe people just want to even when it is a big podcast, people are still gonna have to. You're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to listen to it
to realize what it was. Yeah.
It is what it is, but I don't mind that. It's still fun to do. Baba, you excited?
Yes. So let's do a movie.
Did you also forget why you were here?
Yeah, I was like,
came on to rant about Hollywood.
Let's call it.
Well, I mean, Hollywood deserved that.
Hollywood deserved it. They deserve to hear it from me, the guy you didn't choose.
Not bitter at all.
Yeah, not bitter. This is coming from a place of pure objectivity. That basically was 30 minutes. But they didn't choose me, so it's dead, right?
Yeah, that was both of us doing that. Yeah. That's why we moved to Austin, where it's alive.
Hey, there's stuff going on here. Trust us.
Can't even get it out. Rogan's Club's gonna open soon, you know.
And then you'll all see.
I wish all the people who hate Austin comics knew that, like, this is how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we're not over here like, oh, bro. It's like, bro, we're scared.
Everybody. No, we're scared.
Everybody's scared too,
we're
bro.
Scared.
Everybody's scared, bro.
We're scared.
Club's not even open. We're all here on this bald dude.
Yeah.
We're all taking a big chance.
Yeah. That's all. Like, we either sign up for the next big thing or we're part of a cult. It's like there's only two options. So, hey, it's scary over here too.
Oh, man.
Oh, good Lord.
No, I feel so bad for all the people who came just for this movie. I'm so sorry. God. I'm so sorry, but also, it's my podcast. Do what the fuck I want to do. Baba.
Yes.
You know what this podcast is about.
I know what this podcast is about.
You're the OG, baby. You were here since Titanic.
Yep.
Episode 1.
T-Tizzle.
That's what we call Titanic.
Not down.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. 2,000 people died.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad. That really happened. That wasn't a fake one. Baba, I love this movie. You know who else loves this movie? And this is weird. Me and my dad share a very specific bond over this movie. We both love it. I don't know why, but we both love it. Saw it in theaters. Saw it in theaters on a date. Loved it. And then when it was on TV with my dad, I remember we watched it one day. I was like, that's a good movie. And he was like, man, this is a good movie. And we loved it. And I've watched it probably 100 times since. It's one of those that just, it's always on and it always makes me feel good and I love it.
It'd be really funny if you just said, like, Debbie Does Dallas. Like, this is some porno. It's like, oh, God, that's dark. That's really dark.
Debbie Does Dallas. It goes 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I know it sounds annoying, but trust me, it beats. It beats. A lot, actually. Constant beats.
But a lot of climaxes in this movie.
A lot of climaxes in this movie. It's pretty much all climax. There's no come down. Well, there's come down. You'll see.
All right.
Ehsan, bro, tell me what happens in the fucking iconic. It's an iconic movie. It's so well done, and I love it still to this day. And it was fun watching it today. Nick and Norah's Infinite Playlist.
Oh, interesting.
I knew this was gonna fuck you up.
Interesting. This is Kat Dennings, I'm pretty sure, of Two Broke Girls and Tits fame.
Oh, fuck no.
You know what it is?
She got some titties.
It really does. Good for her.
She got some cat Dennings.
She got some Dennings.
She literally has some cat Dennings.
Man, you know what I think it is? I think it's
your movie. Tell me what you think.
Yeah. I think it's just like a very like, it's like this guy and this girl, maybe like, or like this high school love, or maybe it's like even just like one date. They go on one date, and it's all centered around this playlist he made for her. You know what I mean? And they go to the fair and like all that. Like it starts off as a normal date, and you know, as things, I don't know, things just get kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, just stuff happens. They you know, make, when you're supposed to go right, they make a left, and you know how they do in those movies.
Yeah.
And just crazy stuff happens, and they meet like this whole cast of characters.
Almost like Harold and Kumar situations. Like, oh, we ended up in this situation because we went left instead of right. I feel what you're saying.
Yes. At the end, they just sort of like, at the end they realize they just sort of share this one incredible day together.
And there's a playlist for it.
Yeah, there's a playlist for it, but they go.
And that's why it's the infinite playlist.
That's yeah. It's
like, they always have that playlist.
Yeah, like she puts it on just to remember that day, that sort of thing.
That's fire.
That's not
that's legit. I mean, not this movie at all.
Yeah.
But legit, I can tell you were like, you know what? I'm gonna try and write one.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You were 90. Actually, wow, you were 100% wrong. Well, no, 99%.
No,
right.
there's music involved in this.
You were 98. You were 98% right.
That's fair.
Wrong. You're 98% wrong.
Okay.
I'll give you Kat Dennings.
Yes.
That's 1%.
That's 1%. And there's
And
got to be music. Yeah. Come on. If there's not music, I'd be like, wow.
If this was a silent film, how much you'd be like, wow, this is an art piece.
Yeah, really buried the lead on that one with the name. It's just, it definitely has to be music involved.
You ready to hear this movie, dog?
Yes.
I'm so ready to tell it to you, bro. I call me gay because I like sucking dick.
Yeah, no.
It has nothing to do with it. I don't say anything else. I just start the movie. Yeah. So, soft indie rock.
Yeah. Oh, this seems like definitely a soft indie rock movie.
Oh, dude, the music in this movie, and I wrote it down a million times. The music in this movie is fucking phenomenal.
Right.
I don't know any of the songs, so it's not like someone's will be able to sing, but I just went, man, this is it.
Right.
It was clearly whoever the director was, it was extremely specific.
It was a good showing of a world of music that you're not necessarily into.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Okay.
I would listen to actually, this made me, because I went and looked to see if I could find the playlist for this movie, and I'm gonna start listening to it because it was like, man, there's some hits. Like, there's some it's just good. It just makes you feel good.
Different energy,
and it makes you feel good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That kind of music. So that soft indie rock vibe. We see a nice suburb. You hear this music playing on a record. This is a record, right?
Right.
We hear a phone ringing. Bring. Voicemail. Hi, this is Trish. Leave a message at the beep.
Okay.
We see a room, music posters all over the wall. You hear, "Hey Trish, it's Nick. It's 3 PM. We see our lead, Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
I know when you didn't say he was in this, I was like, ooh, does he not know?
I was like, while I was saying it, I was like, the guy is someone I know. I was like tipping my tongue.
And you knew it was like, it's a famous person.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, I'm not gonna remember. So
Michael Cera, bro, this is when he was in his bag.
Right.
This is 2007.
Right.
So this is when he's just like pumping out big movie after big movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, it's 3 PM. You're probably at school. I stayed home, took a personal day. He gets real sad. He's like, nothing to do with you or anything. Sorry I missed you. I was hoping to talk to you. We haven't talked in a while. And he's looking at like all these pictures of them on this billboard, him and this beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, last time we spoke, we both said some nasty things in the moment. And then you broke up with me on my birthday.
God, he's Charlie Brown.
Bro, how good is he with this guy? Because you already believe it. You just like, you can see his face.
That's the bit in Arrested Development where he's Charlie Brown. Like, you know, he does a sad Charlie Brown walk away. This brand's Charlie Brown, dude.
Oh, and this is also, as we're talking about range, this is in his range. How much you're like, oh yeah, he's a girl broke up with him totally believe it.
Sad love, forlorn lover.
Yep.
Yeah,
and does he get the girl? Nope.
Yeah.
He goes, he's looking at more pictures of them all over the wall, like them taking goofy pics and stuff. He goes, oh, also, the mix CD that I left on your doorstep, it's the last one that I'll be making. And then right as he says that, you see his laptop and like, cha-ching, like mix CD done. And he goes, more or less. Anyway, have a great weekend.
Right.
Call me when you get a chance. Bye.
Okay.
Your message was not recorded. It was deleted. Fuck! Credits roll.
Okay.
Nick and Norah's Infinite Playlist.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
We see a school and we see our other lead.
Kat Denning.
And she's like in an all-girl private school. She's got like a schoolgirl outfit on.
Of course, they put her in a schoolgirl outfit.
Very conservative though.
Okay.
The conservative, not sexy like that.
Okay.
Like she has the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air jacket on.
Okay.
So you can't see anything,
Right.
you know, and then the stocking. So it's very like that. So she has headphones on, and you see this. She has a sexy ass friend come up, right? This bad bitch. She's like, Norah. She hits her. What? It's Friday, pumpkin. She's like, well, I'm in my zone. Well, I'm getting in your zone. They start like dancing and stuff, and you hear another girl go, hey guys, and it's that beautiful girl from all the pictures. It's Trish.
Trish, okay.
All right, and you see Kat Denning kind of roll her eyes, and the other girl's like, what up, Trish? And then she holds up this mix CD with like cover art and everything. And she's like, he made me another one. Oh. And you see Norah not staring at her, but like staring at the mix CD.
Right.
And she's like, and she throws it in the trash, right? And then she walks off. And then Caroline's like, don't do it. And she's like, what? Don't. And she's like, he makes the best mixes in the world. And she grabs it. How much you already loving this?
Love it.
I told you, it's cute. It's already, you're like, oh,
love it.
this is, that's why I was saying this movie for you. I was like, this is a rom-com that people don't know it's a rom-com.
Okay.
Because you don't think this is a rom-com.
No.
People don't know, but it's like, oh, you already
Well,
see
you kind of think it's a rom-com, but you just
I think people think it's more of like a comedy than it's a rom.
You think so?
Well, this is very You've Got Mail. There's very like, oh wow, there's like these little ways, like they've intricate of like how people do fall, like these small things.
Okay.
But I guess people, I think people more see this as a comedy because when they see who's in it and like all that.
Okay.
And then also when you see the rest of the cast, you'll see what I mean. Maybe.
Okay.
But you tell me.
Okay.
So, she's like, oh my God, you love this guy. She's like, yo, I've never met him. I don't know who he is. I just want his music in my iPod.
Right.
She grabs the CD, right? Cuts it back to Nick's house. You see a van, like smash into some garbage cans.
Right.
Right? A little Asian dude pops out. You recognize him from, remember the movie 21? There was a little Asian dude
Yeah.
there? Him.
Guy. Okay.
All right? And he's got another homie with him, and they have all this music equipment. And they're like, yo. And they're like, come on out. Nick, come down. And he comes down. He's got like underwear on, shirt. He's all sad. And they're like, are you ready? And he's like, I'm not going, guys. And they're like, what? He's like, I'm taking a mental health day. And they're like, Nick, this is like the biggest gig of our lives. We just got it. You can't do this to us. Also, this is our first night with our new name. And the other guy goes, we're the Jerk-Offs. Right? And he goes, guys. And they go, and we have a new drummer. And he goes, really, who? And then they hold up one of those kid drumming machines, like do, like one of those kind of things. Right. And he's like, oh my God. He goes, guys. And they go, no, you're depressed. You're going to come out with us tonight and you're going to find someone better. And he goes, it's not that easy, guys. You don't know what it's like to be straight. It's awful. The two dudes are gay.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah.
And he goes, and then right then you hear, like in the van here on the radio station, you hear the radio guy go, that's right, everybody. Where's Fluffy will be found somewhere in the 5 boroughs tonight. And the boys go, what? And they go, keep an eye out for those white rabbits. You never know where they lead. And the boys are all like, oh, where's Fluffy's performing tonight? Fuck yeah, we got to find it. We got to find, like they're the best band. They only perform at secret venues. We got to find them. They're like, Nick, come on. You're going to turn down Where's Fluffy? And he starts smiling and he's like, all right, let me get dressed. And they're like, yeah! And they're like, all right. And he goes, but I'm taking my own car. Credits are still rolling while this is happening.
Okay.
That sweet, like, indie rock music is still playing in the background.
Interesting.
So this is all still just set up.
Okay.
Just so you know, okay?
Okay.
So at the school, the friend Caroline tells Norah, she's like, yo, I just heard on the radio, where's Fluffy's in town tonight? They both freak out. She's like, yo, we got to find him. Woo-doo-woo. And then she goes, all right, but Kat Dennings looks at the girl, Caroline. She's like, hey, promise me you won't get drunk and leave me stranded like you always do. And she's like, I promise I won't.
Okay.
Okay? And then right then Trish walks up. And she's like, yo, Caroline, guess what? Who's Fluffy is playing in town tonight? And then Kat's like, where's Fluffy? And she's like, whatever. Already, they're just letting you just slowly like, oh, I hate this bitch. Yeah. Also, you don't like if it's like, oh, you hate if somebody walked up and was like, yo, I saw the new Steel Man movie. Yeah. Iron Man?
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever. And it's like, oh, well, we can't talk about this.
My favorite comic is Anton Schultz.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So she says, I'm bringing this new guy to the show, whatever, yada, yada. Norah kind of shits on her.
Right.
And then she goes, oh, well, sorry, Norah. We all can't, like, have the easy life because our daddy's famous. And Norah gets mad. Mm-hmm. And then Trish is like, whatever, and walks off. And Caroline's like, she's like, yo, I hate that girl, yada, yada. And Carol's like, yo, calm down. Don't let her ruin your night. Fluffy. And she's like, fluffy. Oh, by the way, this is all about Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, that's the twist.
That they were just looking for Gabriel Iglesias. They really wanted Skittles jokes.
Yeah. It's just that's the last half of it's actually a Gabriel Iglesias special. The last half is just.
So, Nick, our boy Nick, gets in. He has this little shitty yellow car. It's a Yugo. Right. It's like a little bug. It looks like literally like a little bug. It's like very shitty, right? And he puts his music shit in it. And it takes him forever to start it. And he's like, God damn it. Finally, he takes off. We see Caroline and Norah taking the bus into town. Caroline's already putting vodka in her Gatorade, getting hammered. And Nora's just like,
fuck.
All right. Credits still rolling. All right. Nick drives into town. We see these beautiful shots of New York. Nick and Nora's infinite playlist again. And like this beautiful like animation over the city.
Okay.
A lot of the shots cut between animation and back to reality.
Okay. That's fun.
Really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, Ehsan, the movie. Hour, 27 minutes.
Ooh, baby, it's a good movie. I
don't know who I was telling recently about. I think it was Mark Gagnon about like how much good movies are based on time.
Yeah.
About like how most of the classics, or what some people that feel, especially when they feel that way about a movie, if you go look, usually it lives right at about an hour and a half.
Right.
That's why they feel that way, because it wasn't too long.
It didn't get too long. Yeah.
You know, it never makes them wonder. It's like, but some movies, of course, you need them to be like, of course, Avengers Endgame. Yeah, it needed to be 3 hours.
Right.
It had to be.
Right.
Couldn't be an hour and a half.
Right.
You know, but
comedies and romantic movies.
And then a rom-com, especially.
It's an hour and a half.
Not if it's more than an hour and a half, you have fat on it.
Yeah, anything outside of a drama. Dramas are like a comedy, a horror movie, romance movies, hour and a half.
Yeah. Even action comedy, hour 45 tops.
Yeah.
Once you get into 2 hours, it's like, bro, what is this?
Well, yeah.
And actually, you know, at the hour 45 tops, hour and a half action comedies are great too. They're usually the better ones.
I think so.
You know, the Beverly Hills Cop, like the ones that people consider classics.
Right.
So, on a flyer, we see the jerk-offs are playing, right? We see the band. The one of the gay dude, not the Asian dude, he's the leader of the band, bro, and he's actually killing it. Like, they sound really good.
Right.
Like, the song they're singing sounds really good. Mm-hmm. And Norah is just staring at Nick on bass.
Oh, wow.
He's playing the bass. She's just staring at him, right? She's in the venue and clearly into him.
Right.
Caroline is just getting shit-faced at the bar, right? And she's watching the band, and the song they're singing is like, screw the man, I want to screw that man. And it's like a song where they're clearly talking about the government and fucking a guy.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You're actually
really great. That's really great.
Fire kind of song, right?
That's pretty fire.
You know, screw the man, I want to screw your man. So right there, you know, they keep singing, and then as he's playing, he looks out, he sees Trish, and he's like, his eyes get big. Mm-hmm. But some dude like puts his arm around her and starts dancing on her. Mm-hmm. And he's like, right? And then the song ends, and he kind of gets distracted, right? Mm-hmm. Nora's just staring at him. Caroline walks up, and she's like, stop blowing him with your eyes. And she's like, nobody can blow anyone with their eyes. And then she looked at Caroline, and she started looking at her like that, and she's like, okay, except you. You can do it. Yeah. Right? And then she goes, besides, he's a total mo. And she goes, yeah. Right then, Nick starts walking by her. Caroline pushes her into him. And then she slams. She goes, oh, sorry. And he goes, sorry. And then they kind of just keep walking. And she goes, God damn it, Caroline. And she goes, by the way, he's total bridge and tunnel. And then, a lot of New York references, and I don't know what they mean.
Yeah, Mo, bridge and tunnel.
I'm sure there's New York listeners going, oh, I know what this means.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Go die, you piece of shit.
Enjoy your rapist governor. I'm an rapist, mamma mia. Yeah.
It's a part of our culture and the DNA. Italians, we rape.
Oh, mozzarella. Yeah. Mama makes a great gabagool, and I like to rape women. It's like, what? So she goes, what's that make us? She goes, you're drunk. Yeah. Cut the cord, Mom. Caroline's just yelling at her. Mm-hmm. And then she runs off with like some hot guys, just being the worst, just being a drunk white girl.
Right.
Woo! Exact that.
Yeah.
The one gay friend, the lead singer, Dev, his name's Dev.
Okay.
He picks up like this other dude, like this another gay dude, and he's like, yo, this beefcake, he's going to help us find Fluffy. And Michael Cera's like, all right, cool. And his friend's looking at him. He's just staring at Trish. And he's like, don't talk to her. He's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm serious. Don't give in to the temptation. She's not worth it. And he's like, I'm not. And as he's staring at her, he just starts thinking back to a moment that they had. And like this beautiful like like that kind of music starts playing,
Right.
and it's a memory of her laying on the bed, and then she's like, "Come here," and she starts tickling him, and she's like, "Who do you belong to?" And he's like, "Trish." "Who do you belong to?" And he's like, "Trish." And then he comes back to reality, right? Oof indeed.
Oof.
Also, she's bad.
Yes. And he's Michael Cera. Right.
I get it.
Right.
Right then, Trish sees Norah. She starts talking shit to her, yada yada. Nora's just taking it. She's like, "This is my man, my new guy, Gary. He's in college. You know, you can have better luck with college guys. Once they get to college, they realize that's when they realize how smart a girl is. It's not just about looks." And then Kat looks at this Gary dude. He's just total college douche looking guy. And she's like, "Yeah, Gary seems real deep," which is just a fire line.
Right.
And then she goes, "Oh, well, I guess Ira Silverberg's daughter doesn't have to care about looks." And she kind of looks at her mad. And she goes, "Actually, I did come here with my boyfriend." And Trish laughs. She goes, "Yeah? Well, why don't you go back to him?" And then she's like, "I will." And she's like, "All right, go ahead." And she turns and she's like, "Fuck." And she looks at Nick, who's over at the corner, and she walks over to Nick. She's like, "Hi." And he's like, "Hey." She's like, "I know this sounds weird, but can you just pretend to be my boyfriend for 5 minutes?" And he's like, "What?" And then she looks back at Trish and she points at Nick like, "This is my boyfriend." Right. And Trish starts laughing, obviously, like,
Right.
"Bitch, I know you lying."
Right.
Right? Get the fuck out of here. Just laughing. And then she gets madder. And then she looks at Nick and she goes, "Just be cool, okay?" And she starts kissing him. Everything goes slow-mo. And even Nick, like, and they start kissing, bro.
Right.
And then Trish, you see her slow-mo laugh and like the music kicks in and she's like laughing. And then she looks back up and she's like good. Like, she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they're making out like pretty much fireworks going. And then she walks over, she's like, "Nick." And then he stops and she's like, "So how do y'all know each other?" And then Kat Dennings is like, "Oh, we go to the same dentist." And she's like, "Yeah? Whatever." And then Trish walks off all pissed. And Nick goes, "Did you get any of my mixes?" And Kat Dennings is like, "Oh no, are you Trish's Nick?" And he goes, "Yeah, wait, she told you about me? You know me?" And then she's like, "Oh no," and she runs off, right? And then right then, he's like looking around like he doesn't know what to do. And his gay friend, Dev, I love this. He goes, "Go to her."
Yeah.
And he like pushes him.
Right.
And then he's like, "Fly." Like that, right? But I fuck with a homie of like, my nigga.
Yeah, he sees it.
There's a moment here. You're in a moment.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it.
So outside, you see Caroline is making out with this dude, right? And they're like, while she makes out, she gets the gum out of his mouth, and now it's in her mouth.
Nice.
Okay? And then Nora's like, "Let's go." And she's like, "No." She's like, "Come on, I can't compete with Trish. Let's go. I want to get out of here." Caroline falls. She's drunk. Nick catches her. And he goes, "Hey, I can help you guys. Do you need a ride home?" And then she's like, "Yeah, thank you." He's like, "All right, no problem." And then he helps her out, and Caroline's like, "Are you guys mad at me?" Like, she's just shit-faced.
Yeah.
All right? So Trish runs up, and right as she runs up, she goes, "Hey, Nick, I need you." And he's like, "What do you need?" And she's like, and she's with the Gary dude still. And she's like, "Can we get a ride?" And he goes, "We? Is that you, or is we you and this fellow? Who is we?" And then right then Norah goes, "Sorry, Trish, car's full." And Trish is like, "Actually, I was talking to Nick, so," and Nora's like, "Trish, there's no room for you tonight." And they walk off. And Trish is like, "Well, that's cool, I guess. I'll just catch up with you guys later." All right?
All right. Yeah. I like Norah.
I like Norah too, fool.
I like Norah.
Nora's quick.
I like Norah.
And it is like they try to make it seem like she's ugly. Bro, she's Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
But I get that Caroline's super hot. Trish is super hot. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking at these super hot women going, "Oh, look at this fat, ugly pig next to him."
Yeah.
No, I'm still like, "Nigga, I'll fuck all three of these."
Everyone's hot in this situation.
She's just not. Is she as hot as the other girls? No. But they don't have fucking Kat Dennings on them. You know what I mean? They don't have a pair of Dennings. So everybody has their thing.
Right. Everyone's got a thing.
But I like how that's what they're trying to make it seem like. And if you watch, that is the only, I'm watching it going, nigga, she's not ugly enough for this energy.
Right.
You know? So Nick, he tries to start the car. It won't start. He's like, so he needs to cool down. She's like, "Hey, you go, huh? I haven't seen one of these." And then right then a guy runs up because it's yellow. And he's like, "Is this a cab?" He's like, no. He goes, are you off duty? Not a cab, my friend. And the guy's like, all right, geez. And he goes, this happens a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So right then the van pulls up with all the gay friends in it, and the gay friends are talking to each other, and they're like, they are so cute together. And they go, okay, here's the plan. And the Asian guy's like, look, I'm going to give Nick a pep talk. Dev, clean up the girl. So they get out the car, right? They get out the car, and then you see our boy Tom is like, the Asian, he's like, lady, excuse me? And she's like, yes. She's like, Dev needs your assistance in the van. And she's like, what? And he's like, yep, right now, let's go. And he grabs her, and she's like, and then he like pulls her to the van, and then he gets in the car, and she's like, she's so cute, she's all nervous, and she walks over, and she like peeks her head around the van, and she's like, hi, and our boy Dev literally just goes, try this on, and he hands her a bra.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And he goes, let me just say, we're not fans of his ex, and we've decided you will be his salvation. We saw you guys make out. You're the one. And then, and then he goes,
I like these guys. These guys are dope.
they're, and
these guys
I
are
meant
dope.
to talk about this earlier. You don't even know that they're gay. They're just gay.
Yeah, they're just gay. It's
Does
not
that make sense?
Yeah. It's not like it's gay pride. No, it's just like these are characters who are gay.
Human beings.
Yeah, they're human beings.
They're his friends. They're his homies. They go to high school together.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's just funny that they're gay. Now you can add a little comedy with it, of course.
Right.
But it's just normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a movement.
It doesn't have to be a statement. It could just be two gay guys in a band.
Yeah. They all go to high school together.
Yeah.
Very simple stuff.
Yeah. It's not, yeah. They're not trying to be icons.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's a movie about. It's not what the movie's about.
Right.
That's what that's what Hollywood's fucking up now too. Is they're trying to force this like, hey, look how good we are. It's like, yo, we know you fuck kids. There's not enough gay people and black people for you to put in movies for us to be like, oh yeah, you never fucked all those kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you're evil.
Yeah,
you're Hollywood.
Yeah, it's your reckoning time.
The reason we let you be so evil is because you gave us Shawshank Redemption. You gave us fucking The Godfather. If you give us unreal art,
right,
we will let you do whatever you want.
You're R. Kelly.
But you got to give us I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah, it's been a while since we got an I Believe I Can Fly.
So you're going to prison.
Yeah.
Also, you think he'd have been able to fuck that many underage kids without doing I Believe I Can Fly?
No.
Of course. But he's not a priest.
Yeah.
There's other ways to do it, is what I was going to say.
Yeah, there are. There are. You're right.
But you got to earn fucking all those kids.
Yeah. You got to get good with God.
But I don't like that Hollywood tries to act like they're good people. When it's
Right.
like, yo, we knew you were evil. We didn't care because you gave us some of the best things that are still timeless.
The greatest art. You gave us the greatest art.
Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like, nigga, the best art's coming out of Korea, bitch.
Yeah,
So
and you know what?
And YouTube. And some kids and like some kids' room.
Yeah.
That's where the best art's coming
and you
from
know what's
now.
happening in Korea? They're fucking kids right now.
Goddamn right,
But
dog.
they're gonna get away with it for a while because they made Parasite. That's how that works.
Y'all know how it works. Y'all know how it works.
Yeah, and then 80 years from now, with Korean Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that's because every Korean movie is all black people, and every Korean person's like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
wait a minute,
yeah,
why
yeah.
is all trans black people in this Parasite too?
They're remaking Parasite again.
With ants?
Yeah,
It's just all gay ants.
Yeah.
How do they know if they're gay? Dude, I don't know. So, he goes, you know, you're the one. He goes, only thing though, we got to get you out of that sports bra. And she goes, it's not a sports bra. And he goes, it's okay. We're all ladies here. And then she kind of smiled like, oh, she realizes like, oh, he's gay, you know? So his homie, he's like, yo, don't talk about Trish when you're with this girl. He's like, oh, what do you mean? I can find out information. She knows Trish. And he goes, no, Trish sucks. This girl's awesome. All right? We'll take the drunk mess home. You kids go flying fluffy. And when you do, text us. All right? We'll meet you there. And then he goes, what could go wrong? Also, this is why I like this movie. It's not just a rom-com. It's an adventure.
Right.
They're searching for something.
Right. They're looking for something. They're looking for fluffy.
They're
looking for Gabriel Iglesias.
They're looking for Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, most rom-coms, I mean, they don't add adventure to it.
Right.
That's what I was going to say. That's why I think I like this one. It's like, oh, there's a search. There's mystery.
Right.
You know, they're trying to find something. They have to use clues. And, like, it's fun, you know? Mm-hmm. So back in the van, she changes. And she, like, now, like, you can see she has, like, huge cleavage, right? And then she goes, oh, this won't work. He's hung up on Trish. He said, the gay dev's like, don't worry about it. You look gorgeous. And trust me, Nick, totally worth it. Just needs a little push. That's all. And then he tells her, like, yo, we're going to take your friend home. You guys go find Fluffy, right? So the boys, you see the boys get out the car. Like, everybody gets out the little Yugo. When they do, the door is shut and it locks. Caroline's still inside and the keys are inside. And they're like, oh, shit. fuck, wake up, Caroline. Wake up. And Caroline's like, be quiet. And they're like, Caroline. And this dope ass music starts coming up, like this dope rock music, Caroline. And then finally Kat Dennings walks over and she's like, unlock the door, bitch. And then Caroline goes, what? Goes, like we practice, like this. And Caroline's just, I'm not in trouble, right? And she unlocks it. Yeah. And by now there's a whole crowd and everybody's like, yeah! So you see the big beefcake gay dude, right? Yeah. He lifts him up. He lifts her up. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Norah, I'm being carried. And the dude turns. Wham! Her head hits like a pole. Yeah. Hard, nigga. You know, like she's out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then she goes, she'll be okay, right? And then our boy Michael Cera goes, yeah, they won't kill her. Trust me. And then as he says it, he's looking down at her big ass titties because now you can see her cleavage. Right. And she's like, hey, eyes up here. And he's like, and they both smile. Right. They all go their separate ways. Right. Okay. So they go, where do we start trying to find Fluffy? And they go, maybe Mercury Lounge. That's where they were at last time. And they go, all right, cool. You know, and they go, it doesn't matter anyway. They won't go on till super late. So we have plenty of time, right? And then she grabs the CD, she puts it in. And she goes, so, they're in the car, they're driving. I love this scene. And she goes, so, your friends are all gay, right? And he goes, not all of them. And she goes, but the ones in the van are, right? He goes, oh, yeah, in the van? Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. They are gay. Every day. Just very Michael Cera, you know, that cadence. Every day, all the time. They are 100% gay. And then it's quiet, and she goes, okay, that's good. And he goes, yep, if anyone gets raped in that van, it will be a guy. Yeah. That is for sure. And she goes, well, that's great. Very just like, boom, 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 boom. Quick. And so he asked, he goes, you want to go get a drink something? And she goes, like, do you want me to stop and get you a drink somewhere? She goes, no. And she goes, do you drink? And he goes, no, I don't drink either. She goes, oh, you a straight edge? And he goes, I don't subscribe to labels. And she goes, okay. Yeah. Which also, I would say the same thing of like, all right, dude, you're a straight, you don't drink. You know what I meant. Yeah. And she makes fun of his band for not having a drummer, and it pisses him off for real. Like he gets mad. Right. And she goes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that your band was bad. I just, you don't have a drummer. It's funny. And he goes, yeah, whatever. And she goes, you know what? Just drop me off here. And right when she says that, a guy stops the car. Taxi! And he goes, sir, this is not a taxi. And this guy gets in the car with this girl and goes, ballet ballroom. The guy, Seth Meyers.
Whoa.
And he's shit-faced, bro.
Okay.
So this is like not what you would like. This is Seth Meyers pretending to be absolutely shit-faced.
Yeah. So this is Seth Meyers pretending to be Jimmy Fallon.
Absolutely.
Right.
In real life.
Yeah.
So him and this girl are pretty much fucking in the backseat, and he looks at Norah and he's like, ballet ballroom, I guess? And then they drive off, right? And you hear the whole time, you're like, oh yeah. And then he's like, so, are you from Inglewood? And she's like, yep. And he goes, Inglewood, up to no good. And she goes, where are you from? He goes, I'm from Hoboken. She goes, Hoboken, no joking. Right? And then you hear, in the back, you hear, I love you. Oh, I love you. And then you see Seth Meyers, he grabs the girl's face and he goes, I love you so much, it's retarded. And he starts licking her. And then she goes, by the way, I got into Brown, but I have this job lined up for me here, so I don't really know what to do. I actually have to make up my mind by tomorrow, literally. And then he goes, oh, wow, you got into Brown. That's cool. He goes, I'm literally going to Berkeley, School of Music in Boston. And then he goes, so if you got into Brown, she's like, I'd be like an hour away. And he's like, yeah. And they kind of smile. Right?
Also, what job? What job would be better than Brown? Brown's an Ivy League school.
Son, you already forgot a very important plot point about this character, didn't you?
What?
Who's her dad?
Oh, someone very famous. Oh, you're right. You're right. So that job could be great.
She didn't say what job, son, did she? She said, I have a job lined up. And she also hasn't been she has not said who her dad is.
Right. But also, that's true, I don't know who her dad is. But in most situations, if your dad's that rich, that job will be with you after the college.
Mm-hmm. But it's lined up for you right now too.
Right.
Where fair. You don't know what the job is either.
Right. That's fair.
So when you that's what I'm saying. I totally get where your brain is, but also I was like, oh, she forgot who her dad is because it's like, oh, when your dad's famous, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
That's a good point.
So they stop, and the guy Seth Meyers is like, what do I owe you? And Michael Cera's like $8.50. He's like, all right. He gives him a 10. And he leaves. And he's like, okay, cherish each other, folks. And he goes, they were nice. And he goes, thanks for sticking that out with me. And then they're smiling at each other. And like they both kind of laugh. And the sweet music kind of crescendos. And as they're staring at each other, they giggle. And then the song ends. And you hear Michael Cera crying on the CD. That's it, Trish. That's the breakup mix number 7 from my heart. And then he cuts it off. And he's like, oh, that's bad. And she's just like, he's like, because I mean, bro, it sounds like this nigga's just crying on the CD. And then he's like, can we laugh about this? And she's like, I gotta pee. And she gets out the car. Another very interesting thing. So she goes into this nightclub. You know, there's a huge line. It's a nightclub. Right. She walks right in.
Right.
She says, what's up to the bouncer? Bouncer let her right in. He's like, doesn't say anything. He's just like, he clocks it.
Right.
All right. So he starts cleaning up his car. Norah goes to the bathroom. She calls Caroline. Caroline doesn't answer. She's passed out in the backseat. When Caroline wakes up, you see her kind of waking up as the phone wakes her up. She doesn't realize who these guys are.
Right.
She's like, what the fuck? And they're all in the front seat arguing about the name of the band. And he's like, no, jerking off isn't it, dog? But this is what she hears. She's like, I'm sick of being jerking off. I'm sick of being the jerk offs. We're tired of jerking off. We're not doing that anymore. We're gonna be shit sandwich from now on. And then she's like, he's like, no, not shit sandwich. She's like, how about balls deep? And then the guy's like, going balls deep? He's like, yeah, going balls deep. And they all kind of go, yeah, right? And she's like, and then they all stop, and they stop at like a Great Papaya to get something to eat. Right. And then she just gets out the van, and she's like, Norah! She takes off.
Yeah, okay, I love this.
Okay. So in the stall, we see Norah looking at the wall because nobody answers. She's like, oh. And on the wall of the stall, there's a little pink bunny.
Right.
And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. And she's like, and then she follows it all across the bathroom. And at the end of it, there's an address. Where's Fluffy tonight? And it's like the Brooklyn whatever.
Okay.
And she's like, ah! She freaks out, right? So they drive off. She tells Nick, and as they're driving off, they bond over how Where's Fluffy is the greatest band of all time.
Okay.
Like, oh my God, it's my favorite band of all time. You know what? And then they start talking about different times they've seen them live. And he says how one time he went to go see them live, and it was a total bait and switch. And this band called Are You Randy showed up instead. And then they both went, oh, I hate those fucking guys. And they're like, oh, they're the worst. It's horrible to do that evil. How evil is that? Right. And so he tells her, he's like, I'm the one who actually got Trish into the band Where's Fluffy. She didn't even hear about him before me. And then she kind of rolls her eyes. And he goes, so you go to school with Trish? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, does she talk about me? And then she looks at him. She's like, I can't believe she ever dated a straight edge like you. And he goes, did she ever say that? And she's like, whatever. She's like, I don't want to talk about this. And she's like, no, what did she say? He's like, she's like, what did you ever see in that girl? I can floss with her. And then he goes, wow, that's how you talk about a friend of yours? That's who you are? Like, you're showing your colors when you're behind somebody's back. And she's like, because imagine being her where you're like,
yeah,
I'm not fucking friends with this. She looks at him and she goes, wow, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm the bad guy? Really? Wow. And he goes, just so you know, she's the one who supported our band when no one did. So, why don't you know that about her as well? And then Kat Dennings goes, forget it. I can't do this. Pull over. And he goes, what? And she goes, pull over. And he's like, are you serious? And they're driving. She's like, do it. She's like, I'll find my way home. I'm not gonna be the goodie bag at your pity party, Nick. Fire line, by the way. I'm not gonna be the goodie bag at your pity party.
Good line.
And then she goes, drop me off. And he goes, fine. He turns the car in a U-turn and stops, like really hard, right? She goes, and she's like, she gets out. She's like, you're crazy. And he gets out and like, you're crazy. He goes, I don't know what I did to make you so angry. And she goes, nothing. You're just a ridiculous person, Nick. And he goes, you don't even know me. And she goes, yeah, I don't know you. Pff, emo punk band boy obsessed with Trish. They make action figures about you. And she's eating him up right now.
She's killing it.
You're right. And he goes, oh, well, he said, you think I don't know you? Yeah. And he goes, Trish never mentioned your name, but he did mention one friend that she had that was a jealous bitch, always jealous of her, just a jealous little Jep. And she goes, what? Let's dance, sweetheart. And she starts walking around the car. He goes, oh, what? You're going to do something? And she walks right up, and just like in He Got Game, funk, hits that nigga in the throat, dog. And he goes, and she goes, what? What now? And he's like, oh. And then she walks off, right? And then he gets a call. It's from his Tom. Right. And Tom's like, yo, how's it going, lover boy? And he's like, oh, it was going awesome until she choked me out. And he goes, what? That sounds cool. He goes, no. He goes, how about you? Did you drop her friend off? And they go, ooh, about that. We lost the girl. And he goes, Tom, what? And he goes, well, we stopped at Great Papayas to get something to eat. And he goes, Great Papayas? And he goes, yeah, we love Great Papaya. Like he said, yeah, we love them.
Yeah.
And then we turned around and she left. Tom, that is not acceptable. I'm dead serious. That's not acceptable. You have to find her. We looked everywhere. She's not in the van. She's not in Great Papaya. She's gone, dude. I think now we cut our losses and we find Fluffy. And then homeboy just hangs up, right? Nick hangs up.
Right.
Norah is trying to call a cab and she's on the phone with somebody. You can't. She goes, yeah, hey, Tall, can you come? Where you at? I'll come meet you, right? That's what she's saying. And then Nick walks up and he tells her what happened. Like, yo, they lost Caroline. And she's like, what? And then she hangs up on the Tall dude.
Right.
Okay. So they cut back to, they meet up with the boys in the van. And now they're all searching for Caroline. They're just yelling, Caroline! Caroline! And everyone's yelling out the van. And finally Nick goes, guys, let's just be adults for 2 seconds.
Right.
Okay? And we see Caroline. She's at the train station. She's trying to pay for a ticket, but she only has $1.
Okay.
And she's drunk, so she's trying to charm her way in.
All right.
She sneezes. Her gum goes on the window. She grabs it, put it back in her mouth. The dude behind the window fucking closes it. Like, fuck this.
Right.
Norah, mad. She's like, I can't believe I'm not going to see Fluffy tonight, right? And they're like, well, you know what we should do? We should go check at that place that, that since you said you're going to know where Fluffy is, we should go check there. Maybe she's already there. And then she's like, no, we're going to find her sooner than later, right? And then right then, as the van makes a hard turn and a drum cymbal hits her in the head, and she's like, if you guys don't have a drummer, then why do you have drums, you fistful of assholes? And then the boys all look at each other and they're like, fistful of assholes? I like it.
That's a great name.
Fistful of assholes is fire.
That's a great name.
So right then, cut back to Caroline. She's complaining, right? And she's complaining to this dude who you recognize him from Pineapple Express. He's one of the bad guys.
Okay.
Or The Departed. I don't know if you remember Departed, where Leo DiCaprio, when he gets into crime, he has a cousin, and the cousin's like, the Puerto Ricans are mad at you. And he's like, oh, well, they wouldn't. He's like, well, he goes, they wouldn't have any problems if they wasn't Puerto Rican. That's one of the best lines in The Departed, by the way. That's so racist and fire.
That's pretty good.
But it's him, right?
Okay.
And she's begging him for a turkey sandwich and yada, yada. And she almost throws up, and she goes, oh, she runs off to the bathroom.
Right.
Okay? As she runs off into the bathroom, the crew walks into the station.
Okay.
Classic.
Right.
They run up and they're like, oh my God. They see that the last bus left 10 minutes ago. They're like, oh, was she on it? We don't know. She's like, I'm going to call her again. She calls Caroline. Caroline's in the bathroom throwing up.
Right.
Phone rings. She goes, she grabs it. Norah drops the phone in the throw up. She goes, no! And then the gum falls in the throw up as well. And she's like, oh, and she's looking at the dirty water. She sticks her hand in, grabs the phone. She's like, Norah, help me. And she's like, Caroline, can you hear me? Where are you? Norah, my gum. My gum. And she reaches her hand back in, grabs the gum, loses connection.
Oh, no.
So, the crew is like, where is she? And she's like, I couldn't hear her over the music. And they go, what do you mean? During that whole scene, there was a janitor in the bathroom, so there's just music playing.
Okay.
And they go, music? She's at the Brooklyn pool. She's already going there for Fluffy. She's looking for you. And they all look at her like, come on, Norah. And then Nora's like,
right.
Fine, let's go. And they all go, we're going to Brooklyn. And they all cheer. They run out the building. As they run out, Caroline walks out the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right? It's a classic adventure movie.
Right.
So they all drive, dope music, shots of New York. They get to the place. They park right outside, which is the only, also doesn't make sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
They walk to the front, huge line. They walk right to the front, and Kat's like, all right, boys, pile in, let's go. And the bouncer's like, what's up, Norah? She's like, hey, what's up? And Nick is like, the fuck? So they walk in the place, and Nick goes, hey. She goes, yeah. Are you on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
And she's like, YouTube? What? He goes, who are you? And she goes, I'm Norah. And he goes, okay. And she goes, I'm no one. And he keeps looking at her, and she goes, I'm the daughter of someone. And he goes, of who? And she goes, my dad. And then right then a song starts playing. She goes, hey, this is my song. And then she goes, wow, this is my song. And it's that song I wanna be your lover. I wanna be your friend, and I wanna make you understand. You know, it's like one of those classic indie songs, and they're like dancing, right? And they're like making each other laugh. And she's like, I love your hair, it's so soft. He's like, yeah, I get the Ellen DeGeneres. And she's like playing with it and shit. Right then, remember how I said she called a dude named Tall? We see this douchey dude on the corner, like at a bar, watching them. Jay Baruchel.
Ooh, I like a good Jay Baruchel.
Never know when he's coming up.
Yeah.
But he's always, just like God, he's always on time.
Yeah, he's always. Jay Baruchel is with you. That's what he is.
So he walks up and he grabs Norah. He's like, hey, baby, what are you doing here? And she goes, looking for Fluffy. And he makes out with her.
Right.
And Nick is like, the fuck? Right. He starts cracking some horrible jokes and he has like a horrible laugh. He laughs like like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, Tall, by the way, this is Nick. And he goes, yo, what's up, bro? And he goes, oh, I know you. You're in the gay band. What's the name? We're Gay, right?
Yeah.
And you see the band like that, and they're all kind of like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They, just kind of like,
yeah, the fuck's up with this guy, yeah.
And then one of the dudes goes, we're the jerk-offs. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's right. You guys are kind of decent. You're one arm short of a Def Leppard cover group. All right, come on, baby. And then he grabs her and he walks off. The gay dude, Nick, is like, yo, like, fuck this dude. Let's fight. And the gay dudes grab him and they're like, it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, fuck him. He sucks.
Right.
Don't worry about it. You see the music get low, like the music goes down, and you can tell like the show's about to start.
Right.
So that he grabs, and they're like Fluffy, and he like grabs Nick, and he's like, "Come on, Fluffy," and then Nick like forgets, and he's like, "Fuck it, Fluffy," and Tall's with her, like the new dude with Norah, and they're like screaming Fluffy. John Cho walks out.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Harold.
Yeah.
Damn, he ain't even Harold no more. This nigga was in Star Trek. He's played enough characters now that it's like.
Was he in Star Trek at this point?
No. This is 2007.
Okay, so pre-Star Trek.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
so he's still Harold.
He's still Harold. No, at this point he's Harold. He's Harold. But it's still like, damn, that's Harold.
Yeah.
He walks out and he's like, the hype man knows what you want. And everybody's like, He goes, but do you really want it? And they're like, do you really want it? Do you really want it? I got one question. Are you Randy? And the Are You Randy band comes out and everybody goes, boo! They got us bait and switch. And the Are You Randy band is a white reggae rap band.
Hilarious. That's
so
funny.
Awful.
Yeah.
They're the only one where the music is like, ugh.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
So Tall tells Norah, like, he's like, yo, I got this my demo tape with me and my boys. It's important band stuff. We need to talk about it, right? And Nora's like, oh, yeah, but I got to go, babe. Sorry. And she gives him a kiss, and she runs out with Nick.
Right.
And then he goes, all right, you'll just call me in 45 minutes anyway. And him and his boys laugh. And then he looks at his boys, and he's like, fucking with a gay band tonight. And they all kind of make fun of that, right? So Norah runs outside. She grabs Nick. He turns, and she's like, hi. He's like, hey. And they stare at each other for a minute. They don't say anything. And he's kind of just got that sweet face. And she kind of looks apologetic. And then he takes off his jacket and he wraps it around her.
Ooh.
Right? They get in the van. The camera stays on the shot. You see Trish. She saw all of this.
Ooh.
And she is like, she gets in a cab. Follow that van. All right? So Nick is like, so is that guy your boyfriend? And she's like, sort of. Well, he's sort of my ex most of the time. And then Nick's like, what about the other times? And she's like, well, we're friends. And he goes, with benefits? And she goes, yeah, benefits, never-ending story bullshit. And he goes, oh, like me and Trish, huh? And then she goes, no, that story ended, remember? And he gets hot.
Right.
But also, hey,
yeah,
she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. Also, heed your friend's advice. Why are you bringing Trish up again?
You're in love, bro. So they start arguing, and right then the gay friends, they stop it. They go, hey, where are we going? And then she goes, look, you know how people like to eat in the same places? And they go, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, Caroline likes to barf in the same places. Take me to this corner store. They go to the corner store. There's an Asian dude like at the ice cream, near the ice cream. And then she walks in, and the guy goes, no more. And then Nora's like, you already saw her? She's like, your friend just puked in all the ice cream again. She goes, damn. Right then, Trish runs in. And Trish is like, hey, do you like him? And she's like, what? She's like, do you like him? And then she's like, no, do you? And she was like, well, I mean, I was with him for 6 months. And Nora's like, yeah, but you cheated on him the whole 6 months. And she goes, did you tell him that? And she goes, no, I didn't tell him. She goes, like, oh shit, you know? Outside, our boy Nick is complaining to Tom. He's like, I don't get her. And Tom's like, who? And he's like, Norah. I don't know. And then Tom goes, you still haven't gotten it yet, huh, man? And he's like, gotten what? He goes, it's simple, bro. This whole thing, the Beatles. It's all just the Beatles. And he goes, the band? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, what about them? And he grabs his hand. Grabs his hand, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, other bands make it about sex, about pain. The Beatles figured it out, bro. I want to hold your hand. So simple. It's fucking brilliant, right? Right? So Trick,
that's
bro,
good.
great line.
That's good.
Great line.
Yeah.
Apparently, you know why this is written so well?
Why?
It was a novel. This is a book.
Okay.
That they made into a movie. I didn't know that until today. I was like, because I saw the end, last credit. I was like, oh, based off the novel, and I was like, oh, that's why it's written so tight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it flows.
Yeah.
You know. So Trish talks to Norah about Nick. And, like, you know, she's like, I don't want you to get hurt, blah, blah, yada. And as they're talking, it comes up. She's like, I already know the word on the street on you, Norah. And Nora's like, what? And she's like, well, the word on the street is that you've never had an orgasm. Can't have one. And she's like, what? Her eyes get big. What? Cut back to Nick, you know, Tom being like, Nick, people don't want a hump fest or some bullshit. They just want to hold your hand. And he's like, starts rubbing Nick's hand. And Nick's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
So Nora's like, who told you that? Like, Caroline? Did Caroline tell you? I can have one. You know, I probably had 1 million. How am I supposed to know if I've ever had one? And then there's a guy in line behind them, and he's like, oh, trust me. You'll know.
Yeah.
And then Trish even goes like,
yeah.
Right? And then right then Trish gets a call. She's like, hello? Hey, bitch. It's Caroline. Right. And then Nora's like, it's what? And she's like, give me the phone. Give me that. Where are you? And she's like, Norah, I found Jesus. What? Cut to, she's looking at like a Jesus, but it's like a nigga in a Jesus outfit smoking a cigarette.
Right.
Right? She's like, I found Jesus. I have to follow him. And Jesus goes inside the building. And she's like, where are you going, Jesus? Norah, where are you? And she goes, there's an altar boy with no pants on. Yeah. Altar boy, why don't you have any pants on? And she hangs up. Yeah. She's like, ah! Right? She goes, I have to go. She runs away. Trish smiles evil as she runs away.
Right.
Trish gets in a cab and she goes, take me to this yellow Yugo on this street.
Right.
All right. They leave. The gang goes and searches a church. Right. Nick, he runs around the church and he checks and the doors are locked. He's like, damn. Norah is complaining inside of the car about Trish, and the boys are telling her she's awful, you're beautiful, fuck her. Right. Like, don't worry about her. Right. Nick, as he's checking the church, it's all closed. He's like, man, what the hell? A homeless dude walks up, this big black one. And he's like, yo, what's up, baby? You looking for something? And Nick is like, oh, no, sir, I'm not looking for anything. And then you hear another guy go, a voice you recognize go, it's cool, Switzerland. I got this. Hey, what's up, man? It's Andy Samberg. He's like, oh, let's go. Bro, the cameos are crazy.
That's funny. Okay.
You know? And he goes, he's like, hey, I don't want any problems. He goes, hey, let me ask you something. You ever hook up with a dog before? And he's like, no. Well, don't. It's not worth it. And Michael Cera's like, I'm running away. Yeah, you better run, little canary. You better run. And that's it, bro. That's his whole scene in the whole movie. Bro, I would love to be at that level of fame where you just get to do fire cameos.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's like one day at work, not even a full day, probably like a couple hours of work.
Right. That's pretty good.
So our boy runs back, and he's like, oh, she wasn't there. Where did she say exactly she was? And Nora's like, she said that there was an altar boy with no pants on. And then one of the gay dude goes, midnight ass. And they all look at him, and he goes, all gay review, you know, deck the balls, oh horny night. And then he goes, wait, it's a Christmas show? And they go, yeah. And Nick's like, you guys have a Christmas show this time of year? And then Tom's like, when does a queen need the excuse to sing? Bro, cut to, we see these gay-ass niggas on stage, bro, right. Cross-dressed, right? All Christmas. Everything Christmas. All That's Christmas things. And they're singing the 10 gays of Christmas.
That's funny.
And on the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
So funny.
10 minutes streaking, 1980s dancing, 8 trainers training, 7 flies unzipping, 6 extra stitches, 5 Tay digs. Yo, no bullshit, Ehsan?
Yeah.
I still to this day, I sing this sometimes when I'm in the shower.
Really?
5 Tay Diggs.
That's really funny.
Yo, first off, who doesn't want 5 Tay Diggs?
Yeah.
Gay or straight?
Yeah, that's hilarious. 5 days.
So the boys are walking through, through this big gay party in slow mo, and like the gay dudes are like eyeing everybody and winking. Michael Cera's clearly just like trying to just walk through it.
Yeah.
Caroline comes out the tree. Norah, I made it to Broadway. Yeah. She's like, oh fuck. They go get her, right? You see Trish finally get to Nick's car, and she tells Gary, hey, I'll see you later. She sits on Nick's car. They all get in the van. They tell Nick goes, where do you want to go? He's like, oh, we'll go back to my car, and then we'll go find him.
Right.
So they go to Nick's car, right? They're listening to the music that they performed earlier, screw the man, I want to screw that man. That also should be a hit song on the radio.
Yeah, that's really funny.
It's fire.
That's such a good idea.
The fact that it's also deep is like
the
crazy.
fact it's about the government is so funny.
And it's not. It's also just about fucking a dude.
A guy. Like, it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Screw the man.
Yeah. It's so funny.
So they take Nick back to his car, right? And they're listening to that song. And she's like, yo, the bass is really good on here. And he's like, thanks. And she's rubbing Caroline's hair and like dabbing her mouth. And he's like, man, wow, you guys are great friends. And she's like, yeah. And then she takes the gum out of Caroline's mouth and like she eats the gum. So now she has the gum, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then he pulls out a handy wipe out of his jeans. And she's like, wow, you have a handy wipe on you? He goes, no, we had Chinese food 3 weeks ago. I never washed my pants. I like to keep the night on them. Yo, I've said this since I saw this movie.
That's good.
I don't wash my jeans all the time because it's like, no, it's good to keep the night on them. Because sometimes you need, jeans are for the night.
Yeah.
And you got to keep last night on them a little bit.
Right.
Something about that. I respected that line. So she looks at him, she smiles, and she wipes her friend off. And then she goes, I've been thinking about Brown. It would be nice to be 1 hour away from someone that I'm cool with. Mm-hmm. And then all the gay dudes up front, they smile really hard. And then they pull up to the Yugo, and who's sitting on it?
Trish.
And they all go, Jesus. And everybody's like, what? They look up. Trish is just sitting on his car, all sexy, right? He looks outside at her, and then he looks at Norah, and he looks back at her. He looks at Norah, and he's like, maybe I should just go deal with this. Do you have a ride home? And his gay friends all go, Nikki, at the same time. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, I'll be fine. She's like, she looks at the dudes. She's like, hey, can you guys drop us off? And they go, of course. And then she goes, yeah, go ahead. I'll be fine. And then Nick gets out, and she goes, hey, Nick. He turns. He's like, yeah, it was nice meeting you. And then she puts her head down, and he's like, oh, he closes the door, and he walks to Trish, right? The van drives off.
Right.
He goes over, and he's like, hi. And she's like, hey, what are you doing here? She goes, you know what I'm doing here. He goes, I don't. She goes, well, it wasn't hard to find the only Yugo in town. Aren't you going to open the door for me? Where are we going? You're giving me a ride home, silly. Why don't you get a ride home with your new guy? He doesn't have a Yugo. It's just a ride. Come on, please. He lets her in the car. This is one of those things where she's like, this is so toxic, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, what is happening here?
She is hot, though. Yeah. You're like, well, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So Nora's sitting sad in the car, and she calls Tall, right? And she sets up where to meet Tall at. The gay dudes drop her off where Tall's going to be. And she says, Caroline, are you cool to be in the van? They're going to take you home? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. You go. And then Nora's like, all right. And she gets to the front, and she looks at all the gay dudes. She goes, okay, boys, I'm leaving you this time. No stopping the car.
Yeah.
And they go, okay. She goes, I don't care if Brad Pitt's butt naked on the highway selling fruit. You're not stopping. And they go, all right, no stopping. And then she goes, and then Dove goes, well, good night, my hetero heroine. And she goes, my Dove. Good night, Dove. She goes, Tom, I love you. And you, I never asked you your name. And then the other gay dude goes, it's Lothario. And then they all kind of laugh. And she's like, okay. And then she walks right off into another club, straight in.
Straight in.
All right. So she sees Tall, and Jay Baruchel's like, there you are. Hey. By the way, I should mention, not only does he look douchey, his attitude's very fake.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Just that LA, really just fake.
Yeah. Take that again, Hollywood. We're really coming at them today.
Yeah, we are going at them.
Yeah.
Hard. Let's relax. You little kitty cat.
Wow.
So he hugs her, and he goes, "You made it. Oh, you're the coolest girl ever. Anybody ever tell you that? You're so cool."
Right.
She's like, "Oh, thanks." And he goes, "Want to have a seat, baby?" And then she says, "Hey, what's up?" to his band. And so he goes, "You ever find your little Amy Winehouse?" She's like, "Yeah, we did." He goes, "Oh, good. You know, you're going to be an amazing mother one day." And she's like, "Thanks." And he's like, "I'm serious." Like, he's just talking to her like that, where it's like, this doesn't seem
what the
real.
Fuck? Yeah.
And then he looks at her jacket, and he's like, "What's this jacket?" And she realizes she still has his jacket on.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he's like, "Oh, is this somebody I have to worry about?" And she's like, "No, you don't." He's like, "All right." In the car, we see Nick driving, and you just see a sexy-ass foot start playing with his ear. All right? Mm-hmm. And he goes, "What are you doing?" And she tells him how he feels like home to her. And like she starts saying all this like sweet stuff about him, right?
Yeah.
And she hugs on him, and she goes, "Are you really over me?" And he goes, "I don't know." And she goes, "You know, you wouldn't have to be over me if you were under me." And she like grabs his dick. And she starts kissing on his neck. And then she's like, let's go down by the river. And he's like, "Okay." And then they just kind of pull off to the side, right?
Damn.
So Tall says to Norah, he's like, "I bought you a present, by the way." And she goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I got you something." She goes, "Oh my God, you didn't have to get me anything. That's so cool. What?" And then he hands her his demo tape. And it's like got the Jewish symbol on the front with like a bunch of fire.
That's funny.
And like them all like coming out of the fire.
That's funny. That's amazing.
It's hilarious.
That's
it's
amazing.
Jay Bear show. And he's like so serious too.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Yeah, it's some real stuff. You know, it's really anarchy meets Zionism, you know?" And she goes, "Wow. You think Israel is ready for all this Jew fire?" And he goes, "Baby, we bring the Jew fire." And like him and his band like high five.
Yeah.
Like they don't realize that she's like clearly like, "Oh God."
Yeah. It's like anarchy meets Zionism.
Zionism, that's what he says. Oh, like, yo, Jay Bear's so funny, fool.
Yeah.
So she like nods begrudgingly, and he goes, "Do you like it?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that means so much. Thank you, that means so much." He goes, "But, you know, do you think your dad will like it?"
Ooh.
And she goes, Right then, the waitress comes over and hands them a bill, and then he does the him and his boys all laugh, and he goes, "Did they just charge us?" And the boys are like, "What? Do they not know who we are?" And he's like, They charged us? Like, what the hell?" He's like, "Maybe." He goes, "Baby, I don't think they knew we were with you." He goes, "Can you go handle this? This is crazy. They can't like charge us." And she goes, "You know what? Sit tight. I'll take great care of it." And he goes, "Thanks, baby. Love you." And then she walks off. He's like, looks at his boys, and he's like, daps them all up. Like, I told you. And she walks over to the waitress, and she was like, "You forgot to add this." And then she walks
Leaves. Yeah.
right? The Yugo pulls down by the river. Our girl's kissing all over him.
Right.
And he goes, "Stop. Trish, I've been getting a lot of mixed signals from you lately." And she goes, "Yeah? Like what?" And she takes his hand and puts it on her titties. And he goes, "Never mind. That clears that up." And then right there, that song starts playing. "I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, sexy thing." Like that starts playing, right? Bow, 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 bow. And then she goes, "Ooh, this is my song." And she gets out the car and she starts like doing like a little striptease for him in front of the car. And he smiles and she's dancing and she climbs up on the car and she kisses the window and it leaves like her lip gloss little kiss on the window.
Right.
And he's looking at it and the music fades and he doesn't hear it anymore. He just remembers all the fun him and Norah had all night long.
Right.
Right? And then Trish gets off the car. She keeps dancing. "I believe in miracles." Nick just pulls off. Nick, are you kidding?
Good for
Nick! He drives off, bro.
Good
She
for
calls
him.
Gary.
Right.
Yep. Good for him. Very much
Good
so.
for him.
Our boy's driving off, and I love this shot. That song's playing, and the shot's like from the side. And you hear, "I believe in miracles." And he's just looking at the kiss. And then he just, you don't see his hands, you just see his eyes. And then just the windshield wipers come on and wipe it away.
Right. Like it.
Fire shit, but the shot is like, ooh, I love that you couldn't see him do it. It's just, you see him looking at it, and then you know he did it.
Right.
Like, damn, you know? So, cut to Nora's eating at a restaurant. The Nick's phone gets a call. Mm-hmm. She answers it. She's like, "Nick's phone, hello." And then you hear a guy go, "Is Nick there?" And she goes, "No, but you can leave a message. Hopefully I'll remember." And he goes, "Well, all right, can you just tell him that he really blew it tonight when he got out the van?" And she goes, and can you tell him that he knows Norah probably doesn't want to see him, but he really, really would like to apologize in person. And Norah's like, really? He's like, yeah, where are you? And she says where he is. And she's like, okay, I'm coming over. In the meantime, he passed that message on, and he hangs up, and she smiles huge, right?
Cute.
So he meets up with her, and, you know, she's wearing his jacket, and he's making her laugh. And, you know, she's, like, chewing the gum still, you know, and they're walking. And then she's telling him, you know, before you tonight, before Tall, I never kissed anyone else tonight after you, right? And then she goes, well, unless you count Becca Wiener from camp. And then he's like, well, I count Becca Wiener.
Yeah.
How can you not count Becca Wiener? You have to count Becca Wiener.
Yeah.
And then he goes, how long were you guys together? And then she goes, 3 campfire nights. And he goes, well, and she goes, oh, you mean, Tall. Yeah, 3 years total. And off and on, you know, friends. And then he goes, but with benefits? And she goes, I guess. He goes, what are the benefits? She's like, I don't even know. He's just always kind of been there. And you feel ignored long enough, it's nice to feel special. All right. And then she goes, do you want to go somewhere? And he goes, yeah, where you want to go? It's only 4 a.m. in New York City.
Yeah.
And she goes, somewhere no one will find us. I'll drive. He goes, okay. She grabs him and they take off. She's driving his car and she's like fucking up his car, like driving a stick.
Right.
And he's like, oh my God, can you please focus? And she's looking through his iPod and she's like, you're definitely my musical soulmate. She's like everything, I agree with everything in here except for all this Cure. And he's like, what's wrong with The Cure? She's like, nothing. I like them. Just, you know, the name, The Cure. What are they The Curing? Am I right? And he kind of looks at her and she's like, their real name should be The Cause, right? And then he's just kind of like laughs. And then she parks and he goes, wow, what a good parking job. And she goes, really? He goes, yeah, this is awesome. See, you left enough space so that way if any other car wants to park in between us, they have plenty of room. And she goes, okay, Nick. I'll move closer to the curb just for you. You want to be closer to the curb? I'll get you closer. She tries to pull closer to the curb. She crashes into the side of the wall. Yeah. Like crashes.
Right.
And then he grabs the keys and he's like, we're closer.
Yeah.
And then she walks him in this building. She's like, I'm so sorry I wrecked your car. He's like, oh, it's all good. You know, I've fixed her up before. And then she cuts on the lights and he's like, you know, it's all. And he's like, oh. And they're in the Electric Lady Studios. The actual one, the real one in real life. Okay. And he's like, oh my God. She goes, yeah, welcome to, he goes, Electric Lady Studios, built by Jimi Hendrix in 1970. And she goes, oh, you know? He goes, yeah, I know. And then she's looking around. He goes, you know who recorded here? And he starts listing everybody. I mean, Michael Jackson, Styx, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, like any famous artist, Bono, like the Beat, like anyone.
Bonnie as well. Don't forget Bonnie.
Anyone, any famous group you can ever think of, they all like recorded there.
Right, especially Bonnie.
Especially Bonnie.
Yeah. You fucking idiot. you're just a dumb black guy. That's what I mean.
No, that is not.
That's what the show's about, bro.
The show is not about a dumb black guy.
He's just a dumb black guy.
Ehsan, stop. And so he's looking at the picture of the wall, and there's a white guy in all these pictures, and he's like, is this your dad? And she goes, yep. And he goes, he owns this place. She goes, oh my God. And he's this man? She goes, yep. And he goes, so what is he, like a former hippie, current yuppie, spoon feeding the masses the same garbage? And she goes, wow, yeah, exactly that. Oh my God, I have to use that in my graduation speech. That's exactly who he is. And then she takes him in the studio, cuts to back the boys in the van. On the radio, they hear a clue for where Fluffy's going to be tonight.
Right.
5, 6, 8, 121. And they all start arguing about what the numbers can mean, right? And they're yelling back and forth. And then Caroline, passed out in the back, just goes, it's an address. And then she says the address, and they're all like, yo! And they cut a U-turn. Right. So in the studio, Nick is freaking out, and he's like, oh my God, I'm about to throw up. He's grabbing Jimi Hendrix's guitar. And she goes, please don't throw up on that. And he goes, can I pick it up? And she goes, yeah. He goes, oh my God. He picks it up, and he's like, it's left-handed. Oh my God. It's like playing for the first time. Right? And she's like, wow. And then he looks at her and he goes, is this the job you had lined up? And she goes, yep. If I want it, it's mine. He goes, how could you not want this? She goes, because I love music. I love music so much. And if I work here, I won't love it the same anymore.
That's real. That's very real.
Good writing, bro, because you had that question. You were like, what? Why would she? What is the why?
Yeah.
Like all that.
That's real. That's good. That's good reason on her end.
She goes, I love your mixes, by the way. Because if you grew up that close to it, it'd be different to you.
Yeah, that's very different.
You've met every famous artist. You've seen them all live.
And you've seen the process.
You've seen them record it. Yeah, it's different. Yeah,
it's
you're
different.
right. It's way different. So she goes, I love your mixes, by the way. And he goes, you heard those? She goes, yeah, 1 or 7. Maybe I have 7 of them. And he goes, really? And then she says her favorite song from the mixes. And he goes, wow, that's actually original song. That's my song. And she goes, what? She goes, well, you got to lay it down for real. Lay it down here. And he goes, really? And she goes, yeah, get in there. He goes, are you serious? He goes, she'll get in that studio. And then he gets in, he puts the headphones on. He's like, oh my God. She goes, you ready? He goes, yeah. I should have never let you drive my car. Biggest mistake of my life. And she goes, I'm sorry. And then he goes, it's all good. You know, and then he says like a fixer up kind of quote that he lives by. And he's like, it never bothers me. And she goes, oh, that reminds me of this passage from Judaism that I really love. And he goes, what is it? And she goes, Tikkun Olam. And she goes, the world is broken into pieces, and it's everyone's job to find them and put them back together again. And he thinks for a second, and he goes, maybe. And he goes, or maybe we're the pieces, and we're supposed to be together. And she's like, exactly. Her eyes go. Oof. She goes, Nick? He goes, yeah. She goes, I'm coming in the studio. He goes, right? And he's like, okay. She walks in. This beautiful music kicks in. She grabs him. She takes the guitar, sets it down. She takes him to the couch. They start kissing. He lays her down. I love this shot. When he lays her down, the camera stays right where it is. So you don't see him.
Right.
All right? But you hear them because the studio mics and all that are still recording. So that's how you hear it from that angle of if it was recorded.
Hilarious.
All right?
That's great.
So you hear, I'm not going to be able to compete with her, okay? And then you hear, with who? And she laughs. And then he goes, I think you and Dev have the same bra. And she laughs really hard. And she goes, I just want you to know that I know I'm not pretty like that. And he goes, stop. You're beautiful. She giggles. And he goes, God damn, why is this button so difficult? She goes, I'm sorry. Why would you buy these pants? I'm sorry. She goes, your hands are cold. I know. I'm sorry. It's very real how it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then you hear him start fucking, and then the camera changes to just like, the levels on a like that?
Yeah.
It changes to that. So now the levels are going up to the point, remember when she said she's never come?
Yeah.
It gets all the way, and then she like, and it like that.
Yeah.
And it cuts back to them, and you see her face, and she's like, Michael Cera, right?
Michael Cera, good for you.
Putting it with the Derics.
Yeah.
And then he kisses her, and he takes the gum out of her mouth, puts it in his mouth.
Jesus, this fucking gum, dude. This fucking gum.
I saw this in theaters, and it was one of the grossest things to this day that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The travel of this gum.
Gum is absolutely unbelievably gross.
So she goes, oh my God, that was embarrassing. He goes, don't be. You're so beautiful. That was incredible. And then right then she gets a text. It's from Caroline. Found Fluffy. Nick. She shows him the text. He's like, oh! He like hops up right off her and just starts getting dressed. And she's like, wait. He's like, come on, we gotta go. Like, bitch, you gotta get up, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm coming. Cut to them running down the street, and you see other people running as well. They run to this rooftop bar, right? They see Caroline, Norah. The boys, he sees all his homies. They all hug.
Right.
Tall is there. He walks up and he's like, Norah, what are you doing with this guy? Trish is there. She walks up. You asshole, you left me. You see Tall go, you show up with this fucking gaylord to make a fool of me in front of my boys? And you see Trish, you realize how far I had to walk? Huh? Are you saying this is over? And you see Tall, you saying this is over, Norah? Tall grabs Norah and like pulls her closer to him. And he's like, you're still going to give your dad our CD, right? I mean, you can't do this to me. I worked really hard. We worked so hard and we did so much to make sure that you get that CD in his hand. Nick hears this and just pushes the shit out of him. Right? And then Jay Baruchel goes, it's all good, bro. This doesn't concern you. Pushes him back. Nick spits the gum out. Fucking pushes this dude again. He pushes him back, right? And then he goes, bro. Nick goes, bro, you touch me again. And then Jay Baruchel goes, or what? What, your band of merry men, they're going to do something about it? Bro, remember the beefcake gay guy, Lothario? Goes, that's it. He grabs Tall, bam, headbutts this nigga.
Damn.
Oh, like this blood, right? And then I love this. Lothario goes, oh God, or just starts crying. And Dev goes, come here. Yo, I love the like, yo, I'm about to fuck you. I'm sick of this thing. He's talking too wild.
Yeah.
And then to be like, oh, I feel bad. I should have did that. It was so real, dog.
So good.
So he headbutts him. Dev hugs him. Tall grabs Norah, and he's bloody, he's bleeding. He's like, come with me, baby, come on. Trish grabs Nick's hand. She's like, come on, let's watch the show. The music starts kicking in. Everything goes to slow-mo. We see, I love this. You never see where it's fluffy. You just see their feet walk out.
Right.
You never see the actual band.
Love it.
And you just hear fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. As this is all happening, Nick and Norah are just staring at each other, and they're just smiling. And it's just all happening like chaos around them, but they're in like the slow motion, beautiful music playing. They grab each other's hands. They leave. Okay, they run out the building. You hear Tall go, 3 years I wasted with Ivan Silverberg's daughter. Damn bitch. And then Trish is like, you know I hate you, and your band sucks, and I cheated on you the whole time. And then the gay dudes are like, go away, bitch.
Right.
And then she's like, shut up. And then Caroline is just literally leaning over the balcony of the city going, I love you, New York. Fades away. Okay?
Yeah.
Norah and Nick get on the escalator. And Norah goes, Nick. And he turns. And he's doing the thing where he is going down, but he's walking up it, and she's standing there.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, what's up? She goes, are you sad we missed it? He goes, we didn't miss it. This is it. Come on. Let's get you home. She smiles huge. They kiss as the escalator goes down. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's fun.
Is that not a good movie, buddy?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's very fun.
You know what it is, Baba? It's a good movie. If you're ever with a girl and you're chilling,
Right.
and she's like, "Oh, you want to watch something?" There's no girl who's gonna watch it and be like,
What the fuck is this
the
movie?
fuck is this? Like it's Bad Boys 2 or something. No girl's gonna be like, why didn't you put on Bad Boys 2? You know what I mean? It's a perfect movie for a date night. If you're ever just chilling with a girl, and then to be like, hey, you ever seen Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist?
Right.
Because she's probably gonna be like, no. Winner,
Right.
winner, chicken dinner.
It's a good one.
Showed a couple girls this movie.
Nice.
It's pretty good. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It makes you laugh. His friends are the best.
The gay friends are awesome.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
Dev.
Over Cat? Nora's good.
Nora's great. I always like the side characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Side characters are always your favorite characters.
Nick's a little bitch sometimes too.
Nick suffers from sometimes the main character isn't terribly interesting. It's
He
everyone
is
around
interesting, but he's also the one who's making the bad decisions. He's the one who keeps going back to this person that the audience. We already know Trish is bad.
Yeah.
We know Trish cheats. We know she doesn't
doesn't
like
know that.
about him. He does not know these things. He should know. The signs are there.
Yeah, but he's rose-colored glasses.
Yeah. But I'm so glad you liked it, man. I knew you would. The writing is so well done. That's why
it's good.
It's hard not to like. The pacing, huh?
Yeah, it was just an adventure. It was fun.
The adventure comes. You don't see the adventure coming.
Yeah, there's a goal. They're trying to find Fluff. They're trying to find Gabriel Iglesias.
They're trying to find Gabriel Iglesias the whole time.
Yeah.
They never. When they do find him, I mean, they leave before set starts.
They leave, and it's like, oh man, all that time.
And you never see Gabriel Iglesias. You just see his fat little sketches.
Yeah, with the shorts.
You see those shorts?
Oh man,
That was a good beans, bro.
it was Hollywood. You're on notice.
Hollywood, you're on notice. Well, they don't make good movies like this. This is an original movie. I mean, it's a book. Just make a fucking. There's a billion books.
Just take a book, make it good. Or we were talking about earlier. Just take a movie that wasn't that great and make it great.
Oh,
We talked about this. If you listen back to the Drumline episodes, we talk about it afterwards in the recap. I talk about how there was a really great movie in Drumline, and they should remake Drumline.
You know what
like a really great Drumline.
You're speaking facts now, bro. Because what they always do is they take a classic,
Yeah.
like a thing. I'm talking about like not just a classic,
Like Home Alone.
It was perfect. There's no fat. Home Alone, Jurassic Park. You know what I mean? The original Halloween, like things where it's like, oh, this was a perfect film, and they go, oh, let's redo that. And it's like, no, take a movie you shit the bed on,
Yeah,
redo that.
Yeah,
There's so many movies that they fucked up, that were an inch or two away from being a hit.
right. Just do that again. Just do those again if you're gonna remake.
But no, because Ehsan, that might not make you money.
Right.
It's the guarantee of the stupid people who are for sure gonna go see Home Alone that you want, and it sucks that that's who they're catering to.
Right.
Just the dumbest, the lowest tier.
Right.
Who would if you're the person who's like, well, I want to go see Home Alone again, I'm talking about you, the lowest tier of person, and that's why they keep making this shit, because you exist. Thanks for listening to Spoil the Beans. I'll see you next week.
See you soon.
We love you.
Check out, remember, my Twitch, Mr. Dangerous Brown and the Dangerous Brown Podcast.
Guys, make sure you do not listen to Dangerous Brown Podcast, and you do not check out his Twitch.
Don't do that, because they'll listen to you. They'll listen to you.
Guys,
check them
make
out.
sure 1,000%. Again,
Actually,
Dangerous Brown Podcast on YouTube.
And Mr. Dangerous Brown on Twitch.
Mr. Dangerous Brown on Twitch. Ehsan Ahmad on Instagram. Literally send as much hate as you can. As much hate as you possibly can. See you next week.
Later.